Movie Podcast, episode 152. We had to jump right on. We got on. We were in the middle of natural conversation, and the word neckbeard came up, and a conversation has begun. So, okay.
Do you guys see me? Because I saw my camera cut out. You see me? Okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, guys, shut up, you fucking neckbeard.
So anyway,
this guy.
I told B that I just shaved, that I was running around. I did this because I haven't shaved in a couple of days. Long overdue. I said, I had this. I had to shave. I'm having people over later, and I just had enough time to do all this stuff and get here on time right now. So now, I said I had to shave. I was getting bad. I was even having a neck beard going. I go, I can't have that. And then, then this took off because B. What did you say, B?
I said, isn't Neckbeard a character from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah. Neckbeard. So then I said, no, that's a derogatory term that people use, neckbeards and this and that. And then C came on. He thinks that the people in the VHS group invented it. Right?
I did not say invented it. I just never heard the term before they were using it as a derogatory term, but I didn't know there was any hidden meaning or any other meaning to it. Just to, that guy's a real neckbeard, or look at this neckbeard, or whatever. All these neckbeards. That was verbiage that was flying around back 4 or 5 months ago when we were in those groups. Not anymore, boys. Not anymore.
Not anymore. No, but I think that's a term. I think neckbeard is like there's another term that's like it's kind of like neckbeard, but it's not. What's that term? A heavy breather or something.
Mouth
breather.
Mouth breather. There you go. I think a mouth breather and breather. Sorry, a mouth breather and a neck beard are both like derogatory terms. I don't know. I think a neck beard is someone that would have like, I don't know. Well, obviously hair's on his neck, but it's like a hipster type thing. This neck beard over here. I don't know. I don't keep up with fucking. I don't even know what a mouth breather is. I just figured someone with his mouth open. I don't pay attention.
It's kind of like making it sound like it's a derogatory term. I guess is the bottom line, but not a very inventive one. I guess some people might argue it's more inventive. I prefer just like, straight to the gusto, like fuck face. Something about fuck face always. I just love that. Hey, fuck face, how are you today?
Yeah.
That rings true to me. It's like it's literally in your face. Boom, done. None of this dancing around. Is it not a derogatory term? Mouth breather, neck beard. Who gives a fuck? Face.
Well, we give a fuck. I'm curious. So I'll see you tomorrow with my tools. Fuck face.
Yeah.
That's where
I just saw another movie too, and I just turned to Josh. I go, I don't know what it is, but just using the term fuck face I just love it. But see you tomorrow with your tools, fuck face. Jerky boys, yes, definitely.
100% jerky boys. Okay, here it is, neckbeard. See, they got pictures of people too. Look at this shit.
with neck beards, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I mean,
a bunch of fucking neckbeards.
I put in neck space and I typed the word B, and neckbeard was the first thing that came up. The letter B, pardon me. So this is what it says, neckbeard. This is Wikipedia though. Is a pejorative term and stereotype for adult and teenage males who exhibit characteristics such as social awkwardness, underachievement, or pretentiousness. I told you it was a fucking term. I knew it. Neckbeard.
It's funny. So the very people that are using it, the very people that are using it, actually exemplify the description.
That's what I just said. I just said you do a bunch of fucking neckbeards because you're literally the ones carrying on this fucking conversation. You fucking neckbeards.
Neckbeards. Yeah. Wow. How about this one?
I don't know what's more insulting, being called a neckbeard or being called a neckbeard by someone in a VHS group. I've got to weigh it. Like, is that like a lesser burn because of such a stature of a person that would be in said group?
The fact
so, like, should I not be offended?
The fact that you joined a VHS group.
Wait a second. The fact that you didn't even know you were in that fucking VHS group,
oh, please.
I think is even worse.
If I'm so popular, I'm in their groups. I never once went in there. I don't even own any VHS.
And the guy's like, I gotta go into this group. I go, B, you're in the group.
You're in the group. That is great. Well, actually, he probably
you were King Neckbeard.
I was gonna say, I believe Christian said you're in the group, you fucking neckbeard.
You probably mute all your groups, like I do. Mute,
like everybody
so
should.
I wish I could mute this episode right now.
Well, you guys want to hear the definition?
No.
The definition?
The
definition of
definition on the Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary.
Oh, I thought you gave it to us. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Well, that was Wikipedia. I wanted something a little better. I wanted something a little more neckbeard because people use it. I'm telling you. But okay, hold on. It's a couple paragraphs. I didn't know this was okay. Check it though. Neckbeard, Urban Dictionary. The word neckbeard, deriving from the conjoining of the words neck and beard, is a descriptor for a type of man characterized by an inflated sense of self-worth and a powerful sense of entitlement, particularly to affection, subservience, and sexual acts from women. Okay. The name is a reference to the poor grooming and hygiene standards typically held by such men, with the result that their facial hair is unkempt and extends down their neck. At the core, neckbeards' inflated egos and misogynistic attitudes towards women serve as a coping mechanism for social insecurity and a lack of self-confidence. Wow.
Hey, wait. I take it back. They summed it up.
It's so basically a neckbeard.
Neanderthal.
It's going to be a term used by a certain group of people that are going to look at normal folks like us who are normal and say that this guy is misogynistic. This guy is what's the other word that they said that was bad? I don't know. Some other
normal.
Jamoke?
When coming from said group. You said there was more, right?
There is more. Yeah, it's a little more. Okay. Hold on. Personal. Okay.
Please read it all.
I don't know where I left off. It says such an attitude shows them to place the blame for their failed social interactions on others rather than undertake self-examination and improvement. Neckbeards also typically have an interest in anime, hentai, and waifuism due to the stereotypical perception of Japanese women as being meek and subservient to men, and thus their idealized, non-threatening sexual partner. Fedoras are also popular among neckbeards. I'm so glad I read the whole thing now.
Mike Merriman will never hear this, so it doesn't matter.
I bet Mike Merriman uses the term neckbeard.
He's like Merriman's the OG neckbeard.
Yeah, there should be a picture of him on that Urban Dictionary. Right beside neckbeard. Would you stop touching your fucking camera?
It's breaking
I command
out.
you to.
It's breaking out.
Just ignore it. Just pretend he's not doing it. That's the only way to deal with that. So, it's true. You're just going to get mad. Fedoras are also popular among neckbeards due to them seeing themselves as sophisticated, respectable gentlemen as opposed to the chads or assholes they believe women normally are attracted to. Copious amounts of Mountain Dew, Doritos, video games, and a sedentary lifestyle are all additional hallmarks of the neckbeard ethos.
That's hilarious.
There is nothing derogatory about this word, and I will continue to use it. You're both a bunch of neckbeards. Let's move on.
I predict that Mike Merriman uses the term neckbeard, and I'm going to find out right now by going to the chat and doing a search for the weird word neckbeard and see if anyone's ever used it. And if I'm a betting man, Mike Merriman uses that term.
I think you're wrong.
It just seems like something he would say. Okay, let's see.
It's got me playing with my shit now. I'm touching my
search.
My settings.
Don't touch anything. Okay.
Hey, Christian, quick question while he does that. Does your camera have a microphone in it?
Why?
I'm just asking because when I plug in my
it
camera,
does.
Yeah, all of a sudden my microphone, it says I have a microphone choice for my webcam. I disabled it because it was on for some reason.
Yeah, you came in. I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to see what your next sentence would sound like. There's one thing you said that came in all weird, but I took the Dave Z stance of I'm not going to say a fucking word. I just hope that it changed.
No, you should.
No, it fixed itself immediately.
It didn't fix itself. I did because I noticed I had two microphones on. I had on the camera microphone and my snowball.
We don't want to deal with you in stereo. Mono is fine.
You fucking neckbeard.
I prefer the EH term skunk. That's what we use. That's what we're going to continue to use.
All a skunk is a black and white neck beard.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, Christian, why didn't you laugh at my comment on the chat? Dave posts a picture of his toothbrush. He's like, "What does this look like to you?" I said, "Looks like we're gonna be fucking late. Looks like you haven't brushed your fucking teeth yet."
I just saw the picture and then
Okay.
I typed because I saw that I missed a call, but I was getting shit ready. I didn't even know that was a toothbrush. It was one of those things where I looked at it and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then you put that comment, you stinky prick, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a toothbrush. How did I not notice that?
Looks like you
But
haven't
it's like
brushed
one of
your
those
teeth.
things where I had to do a double take. I'm like,
That's not the important part. What happened is I'm taking a shower, and I'm about to brush my teeth because I brush my teeth in the shower in the morning. So now I squeeze the paste out.
I can't get a what with that. I sometimes do that also.
It's a life hack, homie. I'm the king of life hacks. You can be as messy as you want if you do it in the free. You don't have to worry about cleaning your shirt, toothpaste
you
falling
shit
on
too?
you.
You might as well just shit in the shower while you're in there. I think I know the answer to
wait
that,
a
so you don't have to
minute.
actually answer. Yeah, wait. We don't need to get into it.
He is part
does
neck
shit
beard.
Shit talks back.
He is part neck beard.
Shit does not compare to toothpaste. I'm sorry. If toothpaste is on the ground, it's a hell of a lot better than shit. Wouldn't you say? You're making it sound like it's gross. It washes out, and you can use the water from the shower head to blast into your teeth to freaking really get a good rinse.
I don't know why I don't know why I just separate the two. I separate all three. I shit, I shower, I brush my teeth. 3 separate stations.
Oh, well, I'm standing up already. I'm already standing. I may as well brush. Matter of fact, I don't have it now, but there have been times in my life where I put the mirror there, and I shaved in the shower. By the time I got out of the shower, all I got to do was dry my hair.
I shave in the shower sometimes, but here's what I picture right now. I picture Dave sitting on the toilet taking a shit, brushing his teeth, and he has the shower head shooting over the shower while he's sitting on the toilet.
Irene, just aim it this way. Yeah.
I'm a neck beard.
Wash everything away. I'm a neck beard.
I don't shit in the shower. I've done everything in the shower except shit. I venture to say.
I'm glad to hear that.
So now you can tell that is a toothbrush with toothpaste. But the thing is this. Thank you. That's for the people watching. I'm about to brush my teeth, and I look at this thing. I'm like, holy shit. Immediately, I knew exactly what it looked like. I go, wow, this is like, I mean, it's not like finding Jesus' face on toast, but I was like, wow, look at this thing. And I literally stepped out of the shower, dried my hands, grabbed my phone off the sink, and had to take a picture because you're never going to see that again. That should go viral as far as I'm concerned.
What? What am I seeing? What am I looking at?
Well,
I
guess I'm wrong.
I see a couple of animals in there, but are you going for a specific person here?
Oh, I honestly I thought it was a swan choking, like looking up like this, like, why God? And it was like a swan head.
It looks like a floppy-eared rabbit or a penguin.
Or a tooth.
Well, I guess I'm wrong then, because to me it looks 100% like a Pac-Man ghost. 100%. It's a fucking Pac-Man ghost. I couldn't believe it.
Throw it back up there. I don't know, I'd say like maybe 84.2%.
Okay, Watson. That is a Pac-Man ghost. That should go viral, that fucking thing. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is never going to happen again in my life.
And no one will ever utter these words again in anybody's lifetime.
The only thing they're going to be saying is, what fucking version of Pac-Man are you playing? The neckbeard edition?
Is this Mrs. Pac-Man?
The neckbeard edition.
Ms. Pac-Man, Ms.
They have him come out. He's like unkempt, hasn't shaved in a few days. He's got a goatee. That's the new one. Neckbeard Pac-Man. And the only difference, just like Mrs. Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man with the bow, is that he's just got a goatee. And that's it.
Dude, if that thing was colored,
you can't say that.
Colored, it would be pink or blue or some shit like the Ghost Star. There would be no question of it. That's a Pac-Man ghost. Granted, ghost should be white. But
imagine that too. Yeah, they should do like a racially sensitive one, like Black Pac-Man or something like that. Like
Black
Ghost matter. Black Ghost matter.
Black Ghost matter. You know what you said? I read it before. Christian just said it. This word has never made sense to me. Unkempt. To me, it should be unkept. Kept. Doesn't that sound like what you're describing? Oh, it's so unkept. Like it's not kept up with. It's not right. You know what I mean? I think unkempt.
That's what. No, unkept is what Lucky's original owners wound up.
Oh.
They wanted to
Okay.
keep him, but then
Smart
you
ass.
stole him and he wound up unkept.
All right, smart ass. Lucky.
We're
See-
early in the show.
See, did you
I
see
just have
Lucky?
to hightail it out of here. Yeah, he looked very happy. Everybody, every pet in that household was happy.
Any
It made me
pet-
pissed off. I actually kicked the dog just on principle. You're too happy, dog. Now go eat some VHS. I'm kidding. My daughter loved that dog, Jocelyn. She was like, couldn't stop. And your dog lapped every pet up.
Oh, yeah.
Friendliest dog in the world.
Oh, she's friendly. She thinks everybody's her friend. She is definitely
Yeah.
into that whole.
Aw,
Yeah. You know.
gimmick.
Are you talking about your visit when you went all Marty Feldman?
Why am I Marty?
Oh yeah, he was.
Hump, what hump?
What happened?
Come on, let's take a picture.
This is how I smile in a picture. I hunch my
What
shoulders.
is this? Just stand there like a fucking neckbeard. Fucking
I think I was standing there like a neckbeard.
I couldn't find.
I hate this term.
I couldn't find it in the fresh cuts, by the way. I don't want to leave anybody hanging on something like that. I don't want to say Mike
Yeah.
Newman a term when he doesn't.
Because they're in suspense for sure.
Well, I don't want to. Well, because a lot of people say, well, just because Dave was wrong, he's not going to bring it up. You know, some people think that. Like, when people are wrong, they're not going to tell you they're wrong. No, I couldn't find it in the Fresh Cuts chat. As far as I can tell, that term has never been uttered in there. So, I don't know. But I don't know. It just seemed like a word he would
Check
use.
Fedora. I guarantee Fedora's been uttered
It
there.
has.
Because Mike loved making fun of that one picture.
Okay.
I did a work thing and I had to wear a fedora. I never wear a hat in my life. I have one picture. I took it, put it in my Facebook profile, and Mike would not let up.
A work?
And when Mike doesn't let up, I wear a hat. And he's got that fucking beard that makes him look like a fucking genie.
He's got a
And
neck
I'm
beard.
being made fun
He's
of.
got a fucking
Yeah.
neck beard.
I got a hat that I could just take off. He's actually physically got to go do something like more like that involves like shaving or doing something to change that.
You
fucking
said you
thing.
had to wear that hat for work. What do you do? Are you a 1970s pimp?
Yeah, I'm a
Oh, okay.
gangster.
Okay, just
You're never gonna get me a cafe. Can we do the show like that again? We never did do that show. We said we were gonna talk like gangsters the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
found it
exactly.
right
See?
You know, I saw BC, Bill Cancinelli over here, and believe it or not, Fedora has not been used in Fresh Cuts. So there's something wrong with the
Whoa.
search. So maybe I'm right. Maybe it's not. It's a search problem with Messenger. So Bill BC said, "Tips Fedora was my animal spirit." See?
tips
Could I
fedora.
could I
know
change
what that
my
is.
maybe I don't want to do the show with these voices.
Okay, I'm back.
I
That
was,
was actually good though, Dave.
I was not engaging in that skunkery.
Tips Fedora. So there you go. So guess what? There is a problem in the search engine in the chat. So I could very well be right about Mike Merriman and neckbeards. So
Tips
Stay tuned.
fedora. Sounds like a porn name.
yeah, what is
Why
that?
don't you just text? Why don't you just text the group chat? Mike will respond in less than a second.
Mike
Why
might
you
respond
there?
to us just talking about him right now.
Yeah.
If he had a way to know, he would. There's no question he would be.
Oh,
Our
he
first guest, never
Yeah.
to be put back on the show.
Oh, speaking of guests,
almost shut us down.
are we adjusting? Are we making this official? The new guest protocol, the way we're gonna do it going forward. We talked about it in chat. There is
Protocol.
protocol. Yeah,
Dave-
protocol, Shane.
Dave is the epitome of a fucking neckbeard right now. The
Yeah.
protocol.
Well, what do you want me to call it? The
Wait.
new way? I could. It's under the protocol. It's a show. I'm trying to sound professional. Even if we're not professional, I try to sound professional from time to time. You know. So
You look professional now with this new setup. I got to admit, I like it.
Oh, this. Yeah.
I kind of miss the box, but you don't look like you're podcasting from a kitty litter box anymore.
Yeah. I always pictured like a hunk of Chunky's lucky shit, which is Chunky, just sitting right beside you there as you're podcasting.
That's a new cereal, Chunky Lucky. Fuck that.
Chunky shit.
What's it called,
Chunky
B?
shit.
It's called fuck you, you stupid neckbeard.
Is it lucky, chunky shit? Is that the way?
Christian kind of. What did you say? You said lunky chunkies or lucky chunkies?
Lucky chunky. Chunky lucky. Chunky lucky.
Chunky.
Now you're
It's hard
teasing.
to say, right? It's hard.
How about?
Chunky lucky. Yeah. Not if you think about it for a second.
No, I even got a jingle for it. It would be lucky, chunky shit. They're magically delicious. You know, it's something like that.
Well, I got it, guys. It's been swell. 152. Yeah. No.
Can't all be
No.
one.
I'm hightailing it out before you hightail it out.
I have.
Chunky shit.
See, I got my headphones plugged in. Otherwise, I'd fully hightail out the fucking window. I'm on the second floor right now. I'll Gordon myself right now.
Gordon. And live like Jamie. So Gordon did not live, Jamie. Let it go.
Hey, you never see him laying outside
I'm
when they're
not
running
saying
around
that.
outside. I don't think he's
No,
dead.
all joking aside, I can see the argument. Like they just show that scene. I think it's because they didn't have the effects to show a dead dog or didn't want to upset the audience with a dead dog. But yeah, he could have easily just ran away, hightailed it out of Dodge.
To me, that's not the thing, though. To me, that's not the issue. The issue isn't whether he lived or died. The issue is whether or not he was attempting suicide. And I think we all agree,
Well,
yes.
I don't.
That's
Well,
the thing.
there's no physical way Jason could be upstairs and throwing him through. There's just
Yeah.
Otherwise it's like the worst editing, which the movie already suffers from bad editing and Jason jumping around anyway. So
That's what it is.
It does.
Unfortunately. You hear crunching.
You can't owe it.
Still,
It's true.
I still say he broke his back and tossed him out the window. I'm
So you
sorry.
think it's more likely it wasn't suicide, but he's dead. That's what you think. It was not
he's
suicide.
probably
but he's
dead. And then they made a mistake of not showing his dead, lifeless corpse.
I think the opposite. I think that it was suicide, but he didn't die. It's weird. We have the complete and see what your take.
I always thought that the intention was that the dog died and that just because of just like where Jason would physically be, it couldn't have been Jason. So I thought the dog freaked out, ran up the stairs. Why he ran up the stairs instead of out the door will always be the big mystery.
He's a
Ran up the
fucking
stairs
dog.
and then dove out the window like I'm gonna just die. I don't want to be at the mercy of Jason, and dove through the window and perished.
Okay.
That's a neckbeard thing to say. I perished.
I'm sorry. If Jason's
Protocol.
in the basement killing Rob, and the dog runs upstairs because he's
Still in.
terrified, he's gonna go and hide. He's not immediately jumping out the window. To
But he
me,
did.
Jason's an immediate threat. Jason grabs him, snaps him, tosses him out the window, and he wags his tail as he falls to his death.
But he
So
got
nothing has been solved.
Well, I'm going to throw something in here. The reason he went there for suicide is because he had to get a running start to really project himself out the window the right way.
Yeah,
I mean,
what is he, a
so he ran
heat-seeking
up-
missile?
Well, yeah, he went up the stairs and he ran down the hallway. He had to get a running start
That's
to get
it.
as much acceleration, inertia, my friend.
Like
You know what I
Christian,
mean?
like Christian said, the door is open right next to him. Just walk out the
Yeah.
fucking door. No,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
and
fucking-
Trish does it. Trish does do it a few minutes later, and she survives. No, not even a scratch on her. So Gordon is like definitely landed on all fours. He's fine.
Well,
I
that's
I take it all back. Gordon lives.
well, that
I
proves
wish they just
Jamie's
showed him
argument.
scurrying off into
'cause
the woods.
That proves Jamie's argument because Trish should have landed right on Gordon.
I honestly, well, it was a different window, but I always said that, like, the intention, I think, of the filmmakers was that the dog died. I really do believe that,
Mhm.
but because it's been open ended and they don't actually show any closure to it, then you can definitely have your
Oh no,
belief that he
you haven't had
ran
closure
away.
for almost 40 years. You must be-
Let's interview him. Let's get Joe Zito on the show. Maybe we can get
I thought you meant Gordon.
meant.
He's dead now.
Well, he's dead. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Fucking- Imagine
Yeah,
that.
get Joe Zito on the phone.
Let's get
Can
Chuck.
the
let's get
dog
Chuck
live
Zito
or
on
did
the
the
phone.
dog die? And Chuck Zito, too. Did you really punch Van Damme in the face? Yeah. You heard that, eh? You knocked him out in a bar?
I know nothing about this. I don't even know who Chuck Zito is. Is he an actor?
How do you know? Oh, you know
Is
what?
he an
Yeah,
actor?
Mr.
A stuntman? What? What is he?
He's an actor. I thought he was a fighter too, no?
A fighter?
Or is he just an actor? That's tough.
He was.
What's he do?
Wasn't he a biker also? Wasn't he a Hell's Angel?
We don't even know.
No,
Who is
he's
this
an-
guy?
How do you not know who we don't know?
Tell me more. Tell me more. Did you get very far?
No, he's an actor, but he was.
Two
Yeah, he
fingers.
Okay, here it is. Chuck Zito. American actor, amateur boxer, martial artist, celebrity bodyguard, stuntman, former boxing trainer, and former president of the New York chapter of the Hells Angels. So Christian and I were right with everything we said. We just weren't 100% sure.
Did you read about the Jean-Claude Van Damme punch in the face?
Let's see.
I'm just gonna go to IMDb to see what the fuck he's been in. That's all I care about.
I feel like you would have known Chuck Zito instantly.
Maybe when I see his face, I'll know him.
Are you a Stern listener? Because you used to be on Stern
I
quite a bit.
used
I
to
don't
listen
know.
to him.
Not
No, he
anymore.
was in Sons of Anarchy,
Back
and I
in the
definitely
day.
used to.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm not a stern listener of this fucking show.
Oh, he's Frankie Diamonds, Sons of Anarchy. I know who that is.
Frankie Diamond, yeah. He's fucking Kim Coates.
He was in Oz, which I
Yeah.
have not seen. He was in
What?
Gia. Which,
You
Yeah, he
haven't
plays
seen
the
Oz?
wizard.
I'm not interested in prison. Maybe nowadays I could watch it. At the time, I don't know.
I'm not interested in prison. I'm not.
A show about it. It's just not my ideal setting.
That's
Never
the
seen
equivalent of when we did the Sleepaway Camp episode. He's like, I don't care about bees. So the bee death, like he's like, I don't care about bees.
Right.
Like
That's how I felt. Hey, this didn't do anything for me. You're right.
I
Now I'm
don't care
okay.
about
At the time,
prison.
I was like, bees. I have not seen any. Okay, Man on the Moon. I saw one time. He was in that. Okay.
Holy fuck.
Well, Gia. Oh, that's not that Gia. That's not fucking Angelina. Or is it?
How many Gias
It
can there
is.
be?
It's not a biography. That's not. That wasn't on fucing PG.
It is a
It's
biography.
rated R.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
It just says
it's
that
based on
Gia.
her life. Though.
Uh-oh.
What?
I lost my audio. I couldn't hear what you said, and I don't know if you heard me, but all of a sudden my thing dropped.
No, we can hear you fine. We just stopped talking because I feel like we're talking over each other a lot more this episode.
Oh, hold on.
For some
Let me
reason.
go. You
I
guys
thought
talk
my
now,
mic was cut down. I was like, why are these
Yeah, but Dave stopped talking.
I got to reconnect, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear
Okay.
you fine.
Unfortunately.
Gia with Angelina Jolie. That was not a TV movie, but it says on IMDb, it says Gia TV movie 1998. There's no way that was a TV movie.
No, that was not a TV movie.
No shit.
Maybe it was an HBO TV movie.
Yeah, I'd never seen it come up that way. I've seen Gia just because of
Because she's naked in that a lot, isn't she?
that's why I've seen it. Angelina. I've seen everything.
I like the way that I agree with Dave, and he yells at me like, I'm like, no, it's not a TV. He's like, no shit, you fucking.
I told you it was not a TV movie.
you get in line.
I'm just
you
saying.
prick.
I think it was a made for HBO TV movie.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. 1998. I was arguing with IMDb. You know, that's all I'm saying.
IMDb.
Okay.
Update your fucking site.
So I had to stop there. Frank Zito, or no, what's his name? Chuck Zito. Sorry, I had to stop there on Zito because what happened with my AirPods here? Now I can't hear anything. So I'm gonna try to connect again. Either way.
Perfect.
Can you hear me still?
Yes.
We can hear you pine. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I think you guys went for perfectly.
It went from Lucky Chunkies to this.
Oh yeah, Lucky. Okay, what about Lucky? Now Seesaw Lucky, and what happened when I brought Lucky around? Do you remember what happened?
He clung to Dave as if he's like, don't leave me, don't steal me again. Like he just clung to him, like he did not. No, he did not want to leave Dave. It was the cutest little guy. He was so cute.
Who, Dave or Lucky?
Both. Both
See?
of them. Everybody's asked me if I've seen Dave's cock. Like the first thing it's gonna be, hey Dave, how you doing? Hey, check out Junior. Woo!
Wait, what order there? I have respect. What are you kidding me, Mike?
Yeah.
There was no time for that.
But you should have gotten her opinion too.
Yeah. No.
No, forget
Since
my.
you've been
But anyway.
dancing so much, let's not dance around the issue here. Junior!
Okay, I gotta go
Horrible.
plug something else in. You guys talk. I gotta grab something. All of a sudden, these freaking things failed me. I can't use AirPods anymore. This fucking thing.
Isn't he the one who just talks about sounding professional and being professional? He's fucking got this fucking neckbeard.
Yeah, the epitome of neckbeard. This is great. I love this. Should be our banner. That the empty mic with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster.
Honestly,
Look at this.
the best points Dave ever made were just now when his mic stand was empty.
Oh
He can hear you.
I know he can hear me. I would never insult the man if he wasn't here for.
A dead man can hear you. Okay, hold on.
Look at these. Yeah, make sure you plug in. You might have to lean forward for the rest of the show.
I know. Let's see. Well, let's see. Let's see what we can do. I might have to lean forward or pull this thing forward.
Yeah, there's that option too. Perfect. Hey, do you notice that we've got the ability to? Have we always had the ability to stop the recording on our end? Because I can actually stop the recording. Not that I want to, but
who can stop the recording?
There, I got the ability at the bottom of my screen on the bottom left. It says stop recording. Stop. It says actually.
I think that's just a suggestion for you. Stop recording forever.
I got it. I can't not give you credit for that. That's great.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That was awesome. I can't.
I love what Christian's laugh is morphed into. I don't feel like it was always like that. It's turned into this like.
No, I got mini laughs. I want to fucking kill you, but I respect you too much.
I respect that joke too.
So far, we're not there. That's good.
I didn't know Skype was giving out suggestions.
Mine
also says.
And what's this? End it all.
Mine also says Christian stop. Yeah, end all. Gordon yourself.
Okay, guys, I gotta get on something here because of the taste test. I did the taste. Matter of fact, I've done 2 taste tests. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but I did the
Brandon's semen or my semen? What's his fault here?
By the narrowest of margins, Munchkins beat out Timbits.
Oh, I saw that. Okay. I saw that video.
But that's okay because it was very close. So any given day, either way, they're interchangeable. That's not it wasn't like a sweep. I mean, it was
a clean sweep, yeah.
But I mean, so we're gonna call them the champs right now, but it was by decision, technical. You know.
The only thing I didn't like is that Munchkins doesn't have a sprinkle donut hole like.
Well, they just might. When I went to the drive-thru that morning, I just said 10 assorted Munchkins because I didn't know what they had, and I did the same. I wanted to give them fairness. I did the same thing at both places, assorted, just whenever.
Give me an assortment of your finest Timbits, you neckbeard.
The Munchkins seem more like a classic donut, like a fill. It's hard to explain, but they felt more doughy in texture when I eat them like a donut, where a Timbit was a little less. It was a little more. I don't want to say greasy, but a little more. The texture was a little different. It wasn't like biting into a donut as much as the Munchkin was.
Yeah, the Munchkins almost feel like they're the actual holes that are cut out of the thing. Like they make the donut, they poke out the hole, and that's the Munchkin, even though it's not. But it just feels that way. It feels like it's just an extension of the donut.
Right. So Munchkins take it by a nose, but it's okay. They're both very good. There was no clear-cut winner. However, as you saw or may or may not have seen in the pictures I put up for my birthday, the stuff I got, my wife got me a box of Crunch and Munch and Fiddle Faddle. So, naturally, we had the taste test here Friday night. And
it's been an exciting Friday night.
Fiddle Faddle wins.
It was an exciting 5 minutes. It was great night.
I'm going with Crunch and Munch.
Crunch and Munch won by a landslide.
Yeah!
All 3 of us. It was me, my brother Mike, and my friend Scott, the 3 of us, and we all did it blind taste tested. We did the thing and fucking Crunch and Munch won.
They eye gouged each other. They were wrestling like.
Yeah. I just like saying Fiddle Faddle more. It's
well, that's the thing. The best part about Fiddle Faddle is the name. The taste is shit. They
Fiddle Faddle tastes more like like Cracker Jacks / kettle corn. Then where Crunch and Munch is more, there's more butter in it, which makes, it's a little more, it's more toffee. You know what I'm saying? It has that taste to it where the popcorn in Fiddle Faddle tastes a little different. Like I said, it's more like a kettle cornish type taste. So that's what it comes down to. So if you're in a store,
I'm talking over you, but that joke, there's a joke in the movie Freaked. And again, it's a underseen movie. It's definitely way more comedy. It's a comedy. The only horror elements of it are that they have really cool monster makeups in it. But other than that, it's a comedy. But there's a line where Cousin Eddie. Why can't I think of his name? Randy Quaid. His character, like they're just sitting in his house, and he's like, Fiddle Faddle? Offers the guy Fiddle Faddle. And I thought, it's just a fucking throwaway line that I still think is hilarious to this day.
Fatal. Okay, I can dig it. Fatal.
Let's not let Christian write any of the jokes for our movie.
Oh my God, no, because that's Psycho Gorman humor, which you guys did not like. That's exactly like
my lucky bat. This fucking prick with his lucky bat.
I don't want to talk about
the line of the fucking year.
And maybe that's the reason I'm so reluctant to go back into 2021 movies, because of Psycho Gorman. That might be because and I'm telling you guys, I don't have a desire to go back to 2021. When I finished 1970, because I joined this group, the horror found footage group on on Facebook, and I'm getting all these recommendations, and I'm picking things up and talking to these people. I have like a list of like 30 found footage movies that I have, and believe me, these movies have passed my test already. Like, yes, they're always throwing names out there, but I still go on the B and I still look around and I still snoop and see, you know what I mean? I still do the same thing. So I found like 30 movies that I want to watch that are found footage. And now I'm getting excited to watch these found footage movies because I'm talking to these guys and I'm like, you know what? When 1970 ends, I was supposed to jump right back to 2021. I am not excited at all about 2021.
I was supposed to.
Yeah, that was like my plan because we got to do it.
Hey, I shot you 2 of those recommendations for found footage, so I was glad to see that they were on the list. And they're 2021s, and they were both terrific, low-budget found footage.
I'm excited about this, man. And Jason Lloyd put a thing years ago, like 3 years ago, in our original group page, and he says, I want to challenge Dave Z to watch these because they are the top 10 highest rated, what do you call it, on this site that he went to. And there was like 5 of them I haven't seen, so I wrote them down and I never watched it. So I added them. So I'm going to revisit this and I'm going to challenge myself, Brandon style, and watch all these found footage movies. I don't know what.
Brandon style? Yeah. Oh, Brandon style.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm telling you, I am not in a rush at all to watch 2021. I don't know. Everything I hear about it, like Scott and Heather make a good recommendation here and there, or Mark Nato, or even B now and then, but they're so few and far between. Nobody has like said, oh man, you got to see this movie. I have not heard anyone say that this year.
I watched The Resort. I remember Brandon talking about the cover art. Great cover art, horrible movie. The Resort. That movie, the one thing about that movie that Dave, you might want to watch it for, is literally for that Randolph girl, because she's super, super hot. But the movie itself is horrible.
What about the Mortimer girl?
Michelle Randolph?
That's what I was thinking too. Wow, B. Yeah.
Right?
We're back. Girl?
Mortimer, yeah.
Hey, get back in there and sell. Sell.
That
Randolph and Mortimer from Trading Places.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I haven't watched it. Yeah, that's a good movie. I haven't seen that in fucking eons.
It's got the grossest scene in movie history. Dave, do you agree with me on this? The grossest scene when he eats that lox out of his beard on the bus or the train, wherever he's
Goldie?
on. Good Lord. Yeah, my recommendations is Gordon.
I got a good Lord for Brandon. I'm on the right track. When Brandon gives me a good Lord, you know that something's going right. These are Brandon jokes.
Scene, when he eats the hairy locks right out of his beard. Remember?
I forgot about that part, even though I just watched it within the past year.
How can you forget about that?
I don't know. I'm fucking weird. I'm looking at this. Who's this Randolph girl? What's her first name? Michelle?
I think of Michelle Randolph.
Oh yeah, she was in something called Chasing Nightmares. She is very beautiful.
I'm not saying like the acting is subpar. The script, a lot of people already alluded to this. The script is like, we have access to an abandoned hotel or abandoned resort. Okay, great. Let's film a movie where it takes us an hour to get to it. Or maybe 45 minutes to get to it, and then it's only about a half an hour at the resort, and the last 15 minutes is horror. But that cover, and Brandon mentioned it, that cover,
like
I actually like. Oh, I actually don't mind the cover though. That cover is okay.
It's a 3.1. Okay. It's a 3.1 on the
horrible.
I would never watch this movie. Is it a bad movie?
I'd say it's bad. Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I wouldn't watch it anyway. Okay.
What happened? Like when there's technical errors like this in a movie, it really rubs me the wrong way.
Tell me that. I didn't think it was a door hanger at a hotel. I'm like, oh my God, what's this clock chicken at?
Okay, does that look like a chicken? or my toothpaste look more like fucking the Pac-Man ghost?
No, your toothpaste definitely looks.
That looks like a chicken.
Yeah, that's. Oh wait. Oh, you're talking about the chicken? Yeah, the chicken.
But
Okay.
there's one of these. It happened like 3 times in the movie where they're like, "Oh shit, we forgot to do a connecting scene or a connecting shot," or they just didn't care, and it just cuts, and it's like jump cuts, but like not like in a stylistic fashion where you could see it work, like really bad. It's like they were talking about something. They're like, "Oh shit, we got to connect it to another scene." Showed a random cutaway, and then they just go into another line of dialogue, and they're walking in a different direction. It was jarring, and it happened, I think, 2 more times in the movie. And for a movie that I would say, for the most part, had a good technical aspect for a low-budget film, I was shocked that these mistakes were there. Sorry to bore you, Brandon, but it's just I was shocked.
You weren't boring. Why was I yawning?
It's like, why again, because it seems to be elevated from the caliber of no budget, but not by much. And there's one scene where the 2 characters at the front are talking, they're having a conversation, but there's 4 of them going to the resort, so the 2 behind them are talking, and you can hear them, and it's like interrupting. You're like, what? What's
Oh, that's
happening?
like The Prey. That happened in The Prey.
I gave it a 4 out of 10. Chris, both you guys.
I never would watch it.
I gave it a 4 out of 10, so that B rating isn't far off, but I watched it a while ago. But I'll tell you this, I do think that 2021 is picking up.
I agree. Did you guys watch?
We'll get to it. I watched nothing, as you know. 1970, baby. That's it. And shows for this.
In my
Actually,
last 13 watches, I have 7 films above 7.
What did you guys think?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't watched it, Dave. Did you guys see that Blood Red Sky one?
Under a blood red sky.
Yeah.
No,
Very fun film.
That first half was great. It has the worst CG of the year possibly award. There's 2 shots of the fucking plane that are they're not even passable. How can a movie with which seems, again, it might have been low budget and it defies its budget then with the setting of the plane, but think that those CG shots were passable? I can't fathom them. You could have gotten stock footage or something. They're so bad. It's like a plane trying to level off in the sky, and it looks so bad, Dave. Like,
is this
it's
Italian?
bad.
Is this the Italian movie that's on there? I heard there was an Italian movie.
There's a couple of Italian movies
on
on there.
Netflix.
Is it Italian? I know it's foreign, and it's dubbed in the little kid's voice. If you think Bob's annoying in fucking House by the Cemetery, wait till you hear this little kid's voice dubbed.
Oh,
you think he's annoying in House by the Cemetery, then Bob's your uncle.
Uncle Bob. Can I do I can't even think. Can I do subtitles? Goldie. Subtitles?
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably can.
I'm not doing that dub. See, but again, Italy, they're always behind when it comes to CGI. But I've said this. Look at the fucking Argento movies. He has PS2 freaking graphics, or maybe even 1.
This looks like PS 2.5. I don't even know if it's quite PS3 yet.
Something about Italy. They do not. I don't know. They do not get fucking good CGI. Somebody's got to move out there and really get rich. Say, hey, listen, I can do better.
I'm on a slasher binge right now, actually. So I'm not doing 70s. I'm doing some 2021, but I'm back on a slasher binge because I've been trying to write the script, and I think I'm just trying to.
Oh.
Where is this fucking script? It was supposed to be a 20-page treatment. Where is this?
No, I'm trying to write the whole first draft. I'm on page.
Wait, you're writing. How many pages are you writing? The full script?
Yeah.
Let him write. Who cares?
I thought you were gonna write like a treatment first.
I guess I could have, but I kind of gave you the idea over the call when Dave when you decided to sleep in that fucking day.
Oh yeah, that day. Yeah.
But no, I wanted to do. I expected to get more done than what I did this past week. I only got about 4 or 5 pages done.
Are you keeping the twist?
I'm writing it with that it could go the original way, but the twist way is the way I want it to go, and it will definitely work.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to read because I can't
wait to read.
I can't wait to read. Yeah, some of the script. I can't wait to check everything out and.
I can give it to you guys in pieces, but I think it's better if it's.
No, it's okay.
At least, and again, this will be for review, and then what we can, if you notice errors or and I'm not talking about spelling mistakes. I'm talking about like plot errors or things that need to be changed and where we can, boost up character development, then that's what the whole point is. Because
Sure,
but I should be coughing it out a lot faster then, because
No rush.
I'm kind of editing in my head, and
Coughing at
I
what?
really should just coughing it out, like just writing it out.
Oh, eat. Oh, eat.
Oh boy.
Out.
Eat.
Shit, man. Well, we'll get to that. We got another year. It's okay. We'll figure everything out. We got to see what's happening with the border and COVID and part 2 and everything else going on in the world. We don't know.
Holy shit!
We don't
I thought
fucking
this
know.
thing was done.
It's never gonna. What did I say? I told everybody. I knew where I was. It was Father's Day 2020. I was in my dining room where I'm gonna be later with the same people again.
Where's my cake?
Right? I was there a year and a half ago, or whatever it was, Father's Day 2020. And I said, how everybody here is so quick, and not just in that room. I just meant in general. Everybody is so quick to think, and I think I said this on the show, that there's going to be a very quick solution to this, and that there's going to be a vaccine developed overnight. Yes, I'm exaggerating, but still, a vaccine developed quickly. But even if this one is taken care of, these were my exact words, who's to say that it's not going to come back again with a different strain that's going to be even more stronger? And who's to say they're going to be able to get a vaccine for that? And who's to say this is not just going to be life as we know it until it ends? And what if there's going to be a super flu?
Till it ends.
Well, yeah. What if a super flu eventually does happen and wipes us all out, like in Stephen King's The Stand? I said this a year. I don't know why everybody thinks that these ideas are so foreign. Why would disease not wipe out the planet? What else is going to do it? It's going to be disease eventually. You would think.
Or this show.
Or this show. I
Like,
understand.
as if it's going to have like a Pontypool effect on people, like they listen to the show and they go crazy. Pontypool.
All I know is you can wish in one hand and shit in another and see which one is filled first. That's all you know what I mean?
I got a lot of wishes.
Okay, speaking of shit, B, you said you had to update us on a mud flap situation.
Oh,
It was the cliffhanger,
no.
What happened?
Oh.
Come
Yeah.
on. Out with it. I've been forthright with everything I've done with my ass and shit. So come on, you get it over with. What happened? You had
I don't use wet ones because they have all these nasty like products. So what I'll use is like toilet paper and I'll wet it a little bit just for softness.
Okay. So you
And-
stand up while you're shitting in the middle of you walk over to the sink with toilet paper and put water on it and then come back and sit down?
No, the sink's right next to me. I have the sink running, so I could just reach over with the toilet paper that I pulled off and just.
Let's just say the sink wasn't right next to you. You lived someplace else.
And I made a chronic error. No, I would have wet it beforehand. The sink was too far away.
Okay.
I made a chronic error. Usually after I do a wet wipe, I do a dry wipe. It's only natural. I didn't do a dry wipe because I was getting into the shower. So I got up and I go to the shower and the water's dripping off me. And I look down and there's fucking brown water on the
There you
floor.
go, asshole. That's what you get. Well, let me see you talk to me. What's going to fall? What, you got a huge asshole? How big is your asshole? It's going to fall out?
That's what you get.
See?
That's what you
That's
get, you
kismet.
asshole. That's what you get, you
That is
asshole.
kismet. See what happens? You make fun of somebody that has a good idea. You steer everybody against it.
No. No good. It was not a good idea.
You want to use the mud
I still
flap.
think
and
it's
when they
the
have
most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I would rather wipe the chocolate water off the floor.
Ew.
Oh,
Yeah, he's gagging.
Getting sick.
And
Jesus,
it was
just say,
everywhere,
Dave,
too.
If I would have had a
too.
mud flap, this wouldn't have happened, and then we can move on.
I wouldn't have mud flapped it. I should have done the dry wipe. Is what I should have done. If I did a dry, I wouldn't have been dripping. I wouldn't have
But
been dripping.
Yes, but in your mind, if somebody gets up from the toilet and does any wiping whatsoever, or even does no wiping, you did some wiping and things still fell out.
I would have been better if I did no wiping. Things wouldn't have fell out if I did no wiping. I wouldn't have been
Well, everybody
dripping.
wipes, so what you're gonna advise? Take a shit and not wipe anymore?
Was that?
everybody wipes.
I was literally in the middle of saying, "Isn't that an REM song?" And you fucking interrupted me.
Wow.
Sometimes.
For the listeners, I was about to make that joke. You could even hear me say, "Isn't that a?" And then Christian fucking.
Oh my God, Brandon needs to get. You got the people love your jokes.
I got the recommendation.
Hey, I'll tell you this, B. A joke doesn't become a dad joke until it's full grown.
Oh my!
I thought it doesn't become a. I thought it doesn't become a dad joke till it's apparent.
Holy fuck! You wanna? That joke was so bad that I said, "Guess where I saw that
Christian
joke?"
was mad at your joke. He was furious when I got
My joke was so bad that though, you know where I saw that joke? It was on the outside of a church. You know how churches have those things, those billboards, and they have like expressions on them and shit? That's what it says. A joke doesn't become a dad joke until it's full grown at GROAN, you know? And every time I see it, I think of B. And I was like, I got to say that to him one of these days.
I love how churches are trying to get people back in, like by putting jokes on the fucking. Just do what you normally do, fucking church. If you want people back in the, I've told you, I'm a marketing genius. You want people back in the seats? Dipping sauces for the Eucharist. That's how you get people back in the seats.
Right.
We've had this joke on the show. Nothing is drier than Body of Christ.
Right.
You put in some smoking jalapeno, boom, amen.
Body
You're
of Christ
done.
with a little Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah. Creamy dill,
Yeah, why not?
hopping jalapenos. Everybody is back in these. I'm there weekly, possibly daily. Hopping jalapenos.
Or chocolate. I think chocolate would do good too. Man.
Yeah,
Dip it
a
in chocolate.
chocolate fondue, like a little one of those.
Yes.
The fall things you just dip in it. Woo! Hey, Jesus never tasted better.
Yeah.
Dude, that's not a bad idea. Like a Jesus fondue thing, and it's just flowing down the sides of his hair.
Yeah, yeah. His locks.
Locks.
Locks. Yes, indeed.
I always bring it back to locks. Anyway, that's how you get that. You don't tell fucking dad jokes on the fucking marquee. You say, come in for our new dipping sauces.
Hey, how about, it's not as bad as the fire department. I feel like the fire department's always trying to recruit people by announcing that they're having a roast beef dinner every Wednesday. First of all, I'm not even that big of a roast beef fan.
Well, no, but I don't think.
I am.
Yeah, the thing is, though, you should be. I don't think you have to bribe someone to join the fire department. It's a good job. It pays well.
Oh no, these are volunteer ones. I always see.
Oh, you didn't say that. Volunteer's another story. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, now I get the where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't even get me started on those people. My stepfather is a retired fire chief.
Those people.
Oh yeah, talk about net. That's who netbeards would be. A lot of volunteer firefighters. Yeah, that sounds like something a lot of them would be. They take it real seriously. They're all.
Oh, and they've got that
so
transmitter thing in their house. What is it like? So that they the band thing, so they can get. We got a 187 over there. Like, oh shit, we gotta get it, and they get in the car like those fuckers.
What, they're going to extinguish a dead body?
Yeah, we're going 87.
187 is they're going back to I think kill somebody that killed them or shoot someone that shot them. Is that a 187?
187 is a murder.
Murder,
A
death,
homicide.
kill. Murder, death, kill. 187. Yes.
Oh, is that it? I thought it was 187 was I was going okay. I thought it was a retaliation for something.
Because it's
Maybe
187.
it's just
No, no, it's death. It's
just murder.
death, kill.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's sending out the fire department. Glad to know. Come here, hose this dead body off the sidewalk. We're trying to have a cookout over here.
Right.
Yeah.
We're on a barbecue. Don't say that. It's a barbecue here. It's
Yeah.
MC.
The
So
roast beef is on there.
I'm having a cookout later, and I'm not barbecuing anything, but I'm having, we're having filet mignon. I'm doing some potato. I'm having a whole thing, It's not going to.
Filet mignon. That is not a fucking cookout. That's a fucking banquet.
No, I'm cooking it on my grill. It's a cookout. What's the difference between that and having steaks? It's just what you're cooking. You grill it. I'm still grilling it. You know what I mean? On my grill. So, because in Canada, that's what occurred to me. A barbecue, the word barbecue is a noun, a verb, a fucking adjective. It's everything you can think of as barbecue. Isn't that something? Man,
It is.
I won't go into that again. It just shocks me at how many times you can use the word barbecue in a sentence in Canada. And
I feel like you could do that here. I feel like they're the same thing here.
No, because nobody calls their grill a barbecue here. You know anyone that does? I think it's just a Canadian.
It does.
No, yeah.
Call your actual grill a barbecue?
Yeah.
What's that thing I pointed? Oh, it's a barbecue.
Yeah, we need to get a new barbecue grill.
Maybe you should be in Canada. You laugh at me saying he's next to Canada. He's in Canada. Everything you do is Canadian.
You're fucking in Canada. You're like, I'm a New Yorker. You're fucking in
But
Canada.
I don't talk like I'm Canadian. You do. You got all that barbecue.
I can hear the falls right outside your window.
All kidding aside, though, I was thinking this earlier. If the word barbecue began
All kidding.
as well, hold on, now check it though. I was thinking maybe there's something to this Canadian way, because the word barbecue, was it invented as the sauce, and then or did the word barbecue exist? Maybe people were calling grilling barbecuing for years, and then somebody invented barbecue sauce to aid, and they said we're going to call this barbecue sauce. If that is the case, I could kind of err on the side a little more of Canada. But if not, if barbecue sauce was invented, to barbecue ribs or chicken or etc., and then the word barbecue took everything over, then it's completely wrong. I'm gonna have to do some research and see which came first, the term for the grilling or the sauce.
You do that.
Yeah.
I'll write the script and you fucking work on that.
Speaking of people liking stuff on the show, how about that though? I put the vote out about the new format, and it was overwhelming. Overwhelming.
No.
Overwhelming, yes.
I believe I was the only no vote.
Yeah, I gotta address that. But hold on a second here,
I got to address that.
because I thought we all agreed before I put it out in the ether. But on the Patreon page, 40 votes for yes, 40, 0 for no. Now they did come with comments, of course, and I they do make sense.
Hey,
People are.
We didn't ask for comments. We asked for votes.
It's good to know, though. It's good to get some input, and they did give us some, And the other one was what's the other one? It was 28 votes yes, 1 vote for no. So 68-1. That's like fucking.
Who's the one genius?
A third of the listeners are okay with this, and the other people that didn't weigh in.
Who's the one genius?
Did you say no for fun, or are you changing your opinion? If so, we keep things the way they are.
Oh no, I'm just
Okay, you're just rattling.
I'm just done in general.
Aw, why?
Oh, I don't know. What is Christian doing?
Are you done? Well, hold on.
I wanted to run something by you guys after this discussion. I just wanted to talk to you guys about something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's a business proposal.
Well, here we go.
You guys got a half an hour?
Oh, wait a minute.
He's trying to sell us on a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme. Hey.
Yes, exactly. I was just gonna say that. Yes. So B, you are no matter, you don't want to do anything. Period.
No. Here's what I'm getting really tired of.
Let's hear it, buddy.
And it's like literally tired of. And I don't know, like, I hate reviewing movies.
Well, that's why we're getting rid of 1 week of reviews. 1 week we don't have to review at all. It works.
Yeah, but the other 2 we have to.
Yeah, but before it was all 3. Now look at it this way. We started off doing one thing. We were doing a shitload when we first went to Patreon.
Oh,
okay.
God.
Then we changed the format, and that became a total of 6 movies, 2 per show. And every other week it became a total of 2, 4, 7. Now per month we've got it as low as it's ever been. Now it's only 2, 4 movies a month. That's it. Or no, okay, pardon me. 5, because one's the bigger show. So 3 on one show, 2 on the other, 0 on one.
A big show every month?
Well, a 3 review. It doesn't mean big. The 3 of us can pick the movies if we don't have anybody.
I also know what
or bought in.
True.
Sorry, C. Go ahead.
I think I know what B's getting at, though. I think it's just getting. Again, I think it stems from, which is the whole reason I tried to introduce the head ratings, which backfired fucking majestically. But I mean, ultimately, I think it's giving a number rating to the movie. I think maybe if we just talk about the movies like we do, and we just say we recommend or we don't recommend it at the end. I don't know. Maybe that helped solve a little bit of it. Because I don't think you have a problem talking about films, or is it talking about films?
He's sick of them. He doesn't care about a rating. He just let's hear it, B. This is the safe place.
Don't you feel like we've done every movie?
Don't
you feel like you're saying the same things over and over?
I hope not. Otherwise, people would stop listening.
I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over.
I think it's in your head.
Maybe it's in my head. I'm not quitting or anything. I'm just saying.
B, I'm only saying this because every time we put it up there, no one's ever complained about it, and people keep listening. You know what I mean? If people were You think about this. Look at 22 Shots. How many movies have they done? Granted, they take their vacations in the summer, but they were weekly for a lot of their time, and a lot of their shows they're doing 4 or 5 hour shows. They're doing tons of, and they don't feel that way.
I feel like they should have taken a permanent vacation about 3 years ago.
22 Shots have probably done half of their catalog.
What are you gonna? What is this? What are you doing? Your taxes? What's going on over here?
No, okay. I'm sorry. I was trying to find something, and as I found what I was looking for, I came across all my old shit from the student film I did in third year. It's like all the casting agreements and all that shit, the crew agreements. But I was looking for. So this is a script my buddy wrote. This is not the script we're doing, but this is a script my buddy wrote. Andrew. He's the one that he committed suicide. He's the one I saw Jason Takes Manhattan with. He wrote this, and it's never going to see the light of day. So I just said, I haven't read this thing for probably almost 20 years. So I'm just thinking that maybe, I just realized there's only 40 pages, though. So I think after I put the initial one out there, I should look at this. We should look at this, and I would like to do this out of like respect or something, just to get it done and made.
That's because I was really nice of you, but no.
But it's called The Dead Harvest, and the only thing I can remember though is it may have not aged well. Because
neither of you, but you're still here.
Honestly, I think I've aged amazingly. I'm not gonna lie. I think just when you look at me,
I think you're better looking now than when we first started recording. I think I feel the same way about myself. I don't care if it's true or not, but I feel like we're aging well. I feel like we look better now than we did when we first started.
Matter of fact, Dan Chase the other day said something in a video, and I always want to respond to things online. I find I just don't have the time. This is the place where I can do all my.
I saw that video. That's where he went.
Maybe he did that too. I don't know.
He was drunk the video?
They were on the way to a concert.
Limp Bizkit rules.
Yes. And they were talking about how it was my birthday. And he goes, oh, yeah. He said, Dave's 90. And I was going to respond on his site and say, I'm going to say, homie, even when I am 90, I'm going to look like I'm 60. And whatever your age you are, I'm going to look younger than you still. That's what I didn't say it, though. It's all in fun. I listen to podcasts, and I always, when I finish, I want to go on this on the thing and write and respond and this and that and talk. And I just find I never have the time anymore. So
I thought Dan Chase was 58 years old the first time I met him. I like Dan. He's funny.
Oh, funny. Yeah, he is. Absolutely. So anyway, what else? B, something else about the format or something.
Oh, Christian, that was an imitation of him drunk, because they're posting a lot of videos lately, and they're fucking lit before they go to concerts or go places. So he's always like, Brandon, I love you, buddy. Yeah.
What? C says that?
No, Dan Chase.
Oh, they said reminded you of C, I thought you said.
No, I think he thought I was offended by what he had said, so he was trying to explain.
He was like, what? When I was doing the groaning before, I was like, that's Dan Chase. Oh, forget it.
Oh, okay. No. Forget about it.
Excuse me while I hightail it out of here.
So anyway, the format's the format. We're gonna probably change it unless B objects again. Changes his mind at the end of summer sausage. But we'll see. But okay, maybe if we have time for that later. These are two things we have to do. Good news. The return of emails and voicemails have happened. It is upon us. It's been so long, and I'm so happy about it. I wish more people would do this. This would be great. But we do have an email and a voicemail. And the emails first, it came from BC has made his return. We used to always get voicemails and emails from him. As soon as he started getting involved in podcasting, we lost his input. But now he's back in. So I'm going to read this. Check it. Okay. Yo, Christian, Brandon, and Dave. Now that the Munchkin versus Timbits war has been settled, with Munchkins winning by a close one, I propose to you another challenge. This one takes me back to the 90s when I had a roommate from Chicago. Okay, now this I don't understand. Maybe this is something you guys can help me with. But he says, do the words. I'll spell it for you.
This won't hurt.
Frog. Okay.
Frog.
And Dog.
Dog.
Okay. Do they rhyme? My Chicago friend insisted that they did, but I still to this day disagree. I would
Yes.
fight this one until my dying day. In fact, I think that my boys Joey Colombo and J-Mac would agree. What say you guys? Much love, BC.
Yeah, they 100% rhyme.
I
Frog,
agree.
dog.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on something here.
Yeah.
Frog, dog, frog. I feel like Eminem can make him rhyme. So they
Why,
should.
I feel like a 6-year-old can make them rhyme. What do you mean, Eminem? Anybody can do it.
I feel like the
It's in a song.
foundation of the English language makes them rhyme.
Well, they don't. You don't say frog. You say frog. It's almost like
I
you're
say
saying F.
frog.
It's almost like you're saying frag. Frog.
I don't say
Frank.
that way. Frog.
Maybe from Boston. Frank.
I don't say that. I
they
say
still
frog.
rhyme.
Frog. Kermit the Frog. That's
Frog?
right.
Come on, you don't say frog.
Listen to me. I'm speaking as normal as I can, casual. Hold on. Who's that
Kermit
out
the
there?
frog.
Hold on. Let me try it again. Kermit the Frog. Yeah.
All right, that's better. That's better.
Yeah.
All right, say Kermit
Who's
the
that?
dog. Say Kermit the
Piggy,
frog. Kermit the dog.
Frog, Kermit the dog. Kermit the Frog, Kermit the dog. Kermit the Frog.
You know what? I'm with
course.
you. I think they rhyme close enough. Is it perfect? No. I could see people arguing against it, but honestly, in the words of somebody like Christian, this is usually where he would chime in and say, "I don't give a fuck."
You're right.
No, it's so weird though. I never would have questioned it. It's like, yeah, they rhyme.
Yeah, you could see it in a
That's
song.
the story.
Yeah. Matter of fact, there's a video on YouTube right here, and it's a kid's video. It's 9 minutes long, so I can't play it, but it says, "Today I learned rhyming words, dog and frog." See, look, it's right there. See it?
Yeah.
Can you maybe forward that to BC?
Yeah, dog and frog, rhyming book.
Question answered.
No, I just
Dog
feel
on a
like
log. Oh, wait a minute. There's a rhyme. Dog on a log and frog in a bog, or in the bog. Sorry.
so no dog on a frog.
There is dog on a frog. Literally, when you said that, I read that. Look,
Oh yeah, look at that dog on a frog.
dog on a frog.
That's
Read
so
along.
weird.
It's a real. Oh, there's a book called that. It's a read along. Hold on. Let me see how they pronounce it. Of course, there's the commercial, but maybe they're gonna come on. They're gonna say dog on a frog. I mean, what else could they say? Hold on.
Hello, little readers. Today we'll be reading Dog on a Frog
There
by
you go.
Cass and Claire Gray.
There you go. Dog on a frog.
I can't believe I said dog on a frog and then it was like literally the next thing you read.
It was crazy. Wow. So I agree. Maybe there's a grand joke here that we're missing out on. But I think dog and frog.
I don't know. I just like it rhymes. It doesn't sound like it rhymes, but I feel like Eminem would have a song and be like, "Yo, it's my dog, Kermit the Frog." You know, he would just like, you know how he rhymes. Like that's how he would do it.
Could do that though.
Your mic broke up. Your mic broke up a little bit there. How would he do it again? I couldn't hear.
Go fuck yourself. That's how he would do it.
Gefilte fish.
That sounds like an Eminem lyric.
Okay, hold on. I went. Oh, I'm trying to think of a rhyme that a kid would say about a dog and a frog. I was looking at a log, but I saw a frog next to a dog. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm just saying. It's easy to say. It's easy to rhyme. Dog, frog, log. What else rhymes?
The
with
more we talk about it, the more it rhymes, and the more I hate this conversation.
that? You can't say jog. J-O-G is jog. So
Jag. I'm going
Dog.
for a jag.
J-O.
I went for a jog on a log where I saw a dog walking with a frog.
Jog? Jog? I'm jogging. I don't say that sounds Canadian.
Jogging.
Jogging.
Jogging. What the fuck did I just say? Jogging.
Jesus Christ.
Wait.
This book, I gotta stop looking at it. I gotta get back into this book. Is like a wealth of knowledge. It's brought back so many fucking memories. I
Well,
love
the
it.
knowledge. Apparently, you never read it. Oh.
No, not the script. Not the script, you frick.
Dog.
Now he's rhyming. Not the script, you
Scripted
frick.
Wow.
What are you, a dog on a log?
Not the script, you frick. Not the dog.
Everything we say for the rest of the show has to rhyme in time.
I don't have the time.
Ah!
Sorry.
Guy. Christian, how do you say this word? Jogging.
Jogging?
Okay, he says it normal. He doesn't say Canadian.
Wait,
I thought
let
he
me-
was going to say jogging. He doesn't. He said jogging, same as I do.
Wait, let me say it again. Jogging.
Jogging.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We all say it the same. Nobody
Honestly,
says
these
jogging.
words are getting harder to. The more you say a word, it doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
You're
BC.
gonna pontypool yourself again.
Yeah, I'm pontypooling.
Jogging.
Jogging.
Jogging. Jogging. Frog, log, cog.
Frog
What's
log.
related to
dog.
swallow?
I feel like I got Tourette's. Fox shit pants, fox shit pants.
Dude, speaking about Tourette's, in my Facebook video feed, a lot of videos of people who live with Tourette's have been popping up lately. And honestly, I love it. I love watching it. I'm serious. This isn't a joke. No, there's no
Why are
joke
they
here.
making videos for no reason? I don't get it.
There are people with Tourette's. They're kind of like educating on what it's like living with these tics and how things they can't do, things they can do, how annoying it is. Like they wind up hurting themselves a lot.
Pardon themselves from what?
Hurting. Because
they said they wanted to pardon themselves. Oh, okay.
Yeah, for murder. They have the ability to do it. They've got presidential.
Yeah, pardon me for wanting to murder you right now and send out the fire department for this 187, but there's a frog on a log.
Oh, I know. These videos are on the wrong place. They should not be on Facebook. They should
You know
not
what?
be
I will be in the movie, only if I could die via ghost dadding.
Yeah.
How about coordinating?
That'd be the very first scene.
Coordinating
Hey,
yourself?
I want
you'll
to
be the pre-credit sequence.
I
We're
wanna
like,
be
guys, I'm on.
ghost
Why is
dad for
anybody else on this?
I want a hand to reach through the phone or reach through the screen, grab my throat, and throw me out the window.
Okay, let's do it.
The phone.
Well, no, that's what it was in Ghost Dad.
Put the bitch on the phone. Was that it? Is that when he said that? Put
Yeah.
the bitch on the phone.
What's with the phone?
That's what he said when he got locked up because he was trying to fucking get that attorney to get him off. He was talking about his attorney. Put the bitch on the phone. Imagine that, Bill Cosby. Okay. Okay, let me get on to this next thing. My mind's all over the place. This is feedback from Eric. Hold on.
Hey guys, this is Eric from Dark Discussions. You are doing a great job as always. However, in episode 151, Brandon called me out by name and launched a vicious attack against me for not watching trailers. So, allow me to retort.
Nice.
Yeah, Brandon, you gotta stop this. You're making yourself look like an idiot. Because your whole argument here was, how can you go to a movie without knowing what it's about, and watching trailers is the only way you can know what it's about? No, it's not. IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, ever heard of them? Yeah, you can go there and read a synopsis and know the basic plot of the movie. It's not just trailer. Oh, wait a minute. I may have just put something together. Maybe Brandon can't read, and that's why he thinks trailers are the only way that you can know what a movie's about. Anyway, you can know what a movie's about without watching a trailer. Thank you very much. Next point. Why do you care?
Next point. I didn't hear our first point.
About this as if it has some effect on your life. It does not. Me not watching trailers has absolutely zero effect on your life whatsoever. So
Yes, it does.
why are you trying to make everybody do the same thing? You're like being a trailer Hitler over here. What the hell, man? Let people be. Let people do what they want. It's a free country.
Yeah.
Well, to a certain extent. But that's another show. The reason I don't watch trailers, and by the way, Dave was not the first person I heard about this from. It was actually another podcaster whose name is Jeff Kanata. He is one of the hosts of the podcast.
I cannot care less.
Now known as podcast. And when I heard him talk about it, I started thinking about it and I thought what he said made a lot of sense. The reason I don't watch trailers is because trailers have become an art form, and they have figured out how to make any movie look good with a trailer. It's BS. Watching a trailer will give you no idea what you're in for when you go to a movie, because they make them all look good. So, when you get to a certain age, you realize that hope is the root of all disappointment. And I don't want to be disappointed, so I don't watch trailers because I don't want to get my hopes up, because I don't want to be all excited about a movie that turns out to be a piece of crap. That's pretty much the reason that I don't watch trailers. I want to have zero expectations so I can go in and have a pure experience and appreciate the movie on its own merits. That's why I don't watch trailers. So stop trying to be Hitler. Stop trying to make everybody watch trailers. Move on with your life. Oh, I'm just kidding. I know you're not Hitler. But seriously, man, calm down. It's bad for your health. I'll talk to you later, guys.
Can I respond first for you?
I love that guy.
Fuck pickles.
Fuck dog's pickle.
No, we got to get over there and rescue him. Honestly, honestly, I had zero expectations for that voicemail, and you did not disappoint.
I never listened to it. It just came on. He sent this message to me at 8:45, 8:45 this morning.
I always said Eric Webster's a poor man Scott Crawford. Scott Crawford.
No, wait, Eric Webster was first.
What?
Eric Webster was first. He's older. And
Sorry, Scott. You're a poor man's Eric Webster.
No offense, Scott. Eric did come first. Oh, shit.
Wow.
Well, you know what? I think B did have a little bit of a retort. Not a retort. Well, what show is this we're doing? 152?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I guess he didn't. I thought last show he kind of said he was going to relax on it or something like that. And I just said, well, people are
relax. Am I really that crazy about this?
Well,
I think you're joking around.
Right.
But I guess maybe it got to the
Eric,
the fact that you watch it 50 times over, I thought was obviously an over-exaggeration to counteract the insanity of people saying they don't watch it.
So he missed the joke, is what you're saying. See, it does affect me.
I don't know. You're making me do the dirty work here. You're saying that Eric didn't get the fucking.
It does affect me because now I know that there are people out there. This is why I stay in my home. There's a bunch of lunatics around. It's like I can't leave the house without somebody telling me they're not watching trailers. I'm going to the movie. I have no idea what I'm about to watch. Is it a comedy? Is it a horror? Is it a biography? Is it a made-for-TV movie called Gia? Who knows?
No, I'm like. I think I understand what Jamie was saying, and I'm not trying to open up this whole thing again. It's kind of like going, I'm getting off Facebook. Just get the fuck off Facebook.
Right.
Just get the fuck off. Don't announce it.
Right.
Don't ask for the attention. Just get the fuck off.
I'm retiring from podcasting.
Just do it.
Hey, he would just have to do it. That would be it. That's it. He can't announce.
Down here, the fucking cat. I don't know. It just makes my nose go crazy. And I think that's the reality of it is like it's all of a sudden like people going, I'm not watching trailers. We're not going to put in a trailer for this movie. I don't care. The Spider-Man movie. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want. That's what it is. Trailers are always marketing. I like the marketing aspect.
Yeah, but they fuck themselves.
I don't care if sometimes they show too much, sometimes they don't. I'll say, you know what, the trailers I think showed the whole damn movie. I'm gonna go still watch it. It doesn't make me hate anything. I don't feel like I've been spoiled. I just take it for what it is. I don't really. Again, I enjoy the ability to watch them when Apple trailers I think first launched or whatever it was, and we're like, holy shit, we don't have to just go to the movie theater or you don't have to search them online. It's just you could just have all the cover arts in front of you. Just pick the trailers. We would binge watch trailers, my wife and I. We still will do it from time to time.
I used to do that on IMDb. Used to just watch all the trailers. Yeah.
If it makes you happy, that's fine. And if other people don't want to watch it and it makes them happy,
but why all of a sudden are you guys coming out of the woodwork?
Not me.
Not you. You're the fucking leader.
When do I talk about? I'm telling you, you act like I'm still talking about it. I'm the leader.
Hit the nail on the head. I'd like to put a nail in all your fucking heads. That's all I know.
Be happy that people have come around to my way.
I am not coming around to your way. You're all a bunch of fucking lunatics.
Happier though. You can say what
there should be no way. That's the thing. That's the whole thing. There should be no way. It's just I don't watch trailers. And the story.
Convinced that Eric Webster, you, JP, everyone else are just a bunch of fucking neckbeards.
But that's what makes you guys good podcasters, because you can pull shit out of there. Where Brandon and I, not that we're not good, Brandon. I'm just saying we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, right. Like I don't have a retort. I don't have a retort for Eric Webster on that, even though he's like calling me Hitler every 3 seconds. Like I honestly, like it doesn't. I feel like he made it a point of like, oh, let's reference Hitler to the Jewish guy.
Of course he did, waiting for you to say that. Exactly. Yeah. I see. He set it up because he knew you were going to say that, and bravo. You know what I mean?
No, but he didn't get to me because he's not getting a retort from me because I don't care.
Well, if you don't care, then don't. Then. But the thing is,
don't what?
If you don't care, don't be so vocal about not caring. You just went out. You just talked for 3 minutes about how much you do care, and now you're saying I don't care.
Who talks about? I talked about how much I care. What are you talking about?
You just went off 3 minutes about fucking trailers and these people and this and that. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. But the arguments that are
I
used
care
to
about that.
say
I don't care about the
could,
Hitler thing.
Oh,
you can read about the movie. I would be worried that there's going to be a spoiler in sentence 1 about reading about the movie.
Yeah.
wow.
Anybody starts posting about a movie, I don't even read. I don't look at anything about that, but I'll watch the trailer. Like, the trailer is the advertisement for the film, and I like that type of marketing, so I will always do that. But when I read someone's article, that it's typically someone's opinion, unless it's like a set breakdown, which you used to get, like, Fangoria on the set of typically
Yes.
the new Friday the 13th or whatever. But ultimately, I would rather watch the trailer than read anybody's
Me too.
piece.
Yeah, because I don't care what other
On
people
it.
think, because my tastes never align with other people. But here's the deal, and I'm just going to say this once. I've watched thousands of trailers in my life. I can't think of one instance where watching a trailer has given away a movie to me. I know people are talking about
Many
Halloween.
times.
I know people are talking about Halloween Kills. Oh my God, I saw this. I saw that.
I'm mad. Yeah.
I didn't see. All I saw was a lot of kills going on, and I'm like, okay, now I'm actually excited to see this, even though I thought
Yeah,
2018
a
was a fucking
naysayer
turd.
wants to see it.
Yeah, I
A
want to
naysayer
see it now
wants to
because
see
they
it.
made it look good to me.
That's
People are
all.
like, oh,
Success.
I saw an Easter egg.
Ding. It's
Oh my
success. They
Yeah.
got Brandon to want to see it. All you guys are going to go see it anyway. Brandon would have probably said no. Now he wants to see it. That it just solves everything. Marketing 101 achieved. Done.
However,
Argument over.
I saw just a picture, and I'm mad that I saw that picture. So
But
what?
you're not seeing the movie anyway.
Yeah, you can't go see it in theaters. You can't go see it in theaters.
That's irrelevant, but I will see it unless my family makes me see it. I never said I wasn't ever going to watch it.
You have to
I
watch
said,
it for free when it's torrenting.
That's the plan. I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
get it from Davian, right, or some shit like that. That's fine. But I am not going. But that's irrelevant. Well, all I'm saying is this: I saw a picture of something, and I wish I didn't see that picture. I would rather be watching the movie and then see and go, oh man, I can't believe they did that. That's wild. Look at that. You know what I mean? But now that
Michael Myers
moment.
lived. I'm sorry, I made that joke before.
I can't believe he survived this movie, considering
He
there's
got
another
out.
one coming right after it.
It has nothing to do with Michael Myers, but it's something that I thought was cool, and it ties in with the first one, the 2018. I was like, oh, but now I'm like, okay, well, again, that's different to each their own. Some people like all the details they can get. Other people like me don't want to know it ruins the experience. It's like, this is the perfect example. I'm going to use it again because I think this is and I've used it. People said, you know what? I never thought of it that way, but that's a good point. If someone came up to me and said, here, the Super Bowl this year is pre-recorded. They recorded it the other day. It's not going to be live, but we're going to show you all the highlights of the Super Bowl before you watch it. There's no way I'd want to see that, because then it takes away from the excitement of seeing a big play happen or something going on in the game. It takes away. Now I'm like, oh, well, when is that 50-yard bomb happen? What quarter is it going to be? When's it when does so-and-so, when does this guy break this fucking tackle and do this amazing play?
I don't feel like
I'm
it's
waiting
a
to
fair
see
comparison.
it. I think it's a perfect comparison because you're taking highlights. You're taking highlights of a 3-hour game and packaging it, which you see after the game.
Yeah,
the best
but if I
parts
watch highlights of a game, if I watch highlights of a Super Bowl game and I saw like a lot of like Tom Brady like throwing these huge bombs, I'm like, it looks like the Bucks are gonna win this one. You know, versus.
Why would you want to know that? Wouldn't you rather go in and experience?
No, that's what I'm saying. But seeing highlights of like Michael Myers fucking shit up and like seeing a few Easter eggs in the Halloween trailer doesn't give me an indication of where the movie's going to end. I mean, I know he's going to be alive considering there's a Halloween Ends coming, but it doesn't give me a clue as to who of the main characters are going to be killed off, what the kills are going to look like. It just looks like mayhem and carnage, and it got me excited for it.
Just like some highlights may not show you who the final scorer is if they use them from each team. But so I understand that. But I still want to experience it in real time. I want to sit there. I don't want to have it in the back of my head saying, oh, when's that going to happen? Or, oh, I wonder when this is going to happen. I don't want that. I want to experience it as it happens. It's like, there's a difference. Imagine, I hate to go back to sex, but I mean, what if you're going to hook up with this girl for the first time and she tells you in detail everything she's going to do to you versus just hooking up with her and then she just does it all and you're like, wow, I didn't think
a trailer of sex. I'd like that, actually.
Yeah.
But hold on. I mean,
nothing.
yeah, but
less than a trailer time.
It's a teaser trailer.
if a girl does something to you, right, that's never been done to you before, you're like, oh, I had no idea she was going to go here, but you enjoyed it. Wouldn't you rather have that surprise of it happening than her telling you that it's all going to happen? That's all I'm saying. And again, to each their own. That's the bottom line. Who cares if this guy does it? This guy does. What do I care? You either watch trailers or you don't. But I'm very happy about this because they changed for the worse. And that's the deal. Trailers from the 70s versus now, and this is what I'm saying though. See, they've changed for the worse. So what people are doing is they are doing what I always profess everybody should do in every way of life, and it's called boycotting. One of the finer points of capitalism is you can choose to fucking boycott. Most people never do, and they want to blame everybody else. But you have the choice. You can say to yourself, you know what? Fuck you, trailer makers. I'm going to rebel against the trailers. I'm not going to watch them. Everybody insists, like the Suicide Squad. I'm so fucking sick of hearing about the Suicide Squad for the last 4 days. It's like everybody got a memo. Oh, you got to watch this movie. Everybody in the world has to watch the Suicide Squad. I say, fuck you. I'm not watching it. I like that there are people out there.
What do you mean, though? It's got a lot of, because it got released.
Yeah. It got released on Friday. People watched it and they loved it.
It's no different than when Halloween Kills comes out.
Exactly.
It's going to be the exact same thing with the trailer again.
This is the difference. Only the horror fans are going to be watching Halloween Kills. Everybody and their fucking mother is watching Suicide Squad. Everybody.
True.
Horror fans.
True. It's a bigger audience. But Halloween Kills has definitely gotten the sort of the Scream. It's now gone to the Scream. It has the mainstream factor.
Yeah, but all I'm saying, okay, I don't think you're understanding my example. The reason I picked Suicide Squad is because everybody is watching it. Everybody, genre fans, non-genre fans, everybody's talking about it.
But why deny yourself the fact to watch it? I don't get it.
I'm not denying
that part. Okay.
The point is this. I'm just saying, I'm using that as an example that just because everybody is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not interested in it. I've never seen anything from the Suicide Squad. I barely know what it is outside of Harley Quinn. Okay, and I don't care to know. It's not my cup. I'm not saying I'll never watch it. Right now, it's not something that I'm very interested in.
You should check out the trailer for it. Maybe it'll change your mind.
I want it now.
You and Eric Webster can watch it together.
I'm not against the Suicide Squad at all. Maybe someday I'll watch it. I'm not. The example I'm using is that just because everybody is watching trailers and have for years, suddenly some people started realizing, hey, these trailers aren't like they used to be. I don't like what they're doing anymore. So instead of being a mark and saying every time a trailer comes out, I'm going to watch it, they're saying, no, fuck that. I'm rebelling against it. I'm sick of what they're doing. I'm not going to watch it anymore. So I think you should be happy for people that go against the grain.
But you'll never win.
And
it will never end.
And I'm not rebelling against you guys not watching trailers. I'm rebelling against you guys not stopping talking about watching trailers. It's
but that's not what you're talking about.
Argument.
But that's not what you're bitching about. You're bitching about you non-trailer watchers all the time. You're always talking about us. You're lumping me into it when I don't say anything about it anymore.
But I get what Brandon's saying, and exactly. And by watching it 50,000 times over, that's the argument. So you cannot watch it to stand up for what you believe in and like again, rally against it. It will never work because the internet now.
No, Eric Webster's right. I'm going to stop watching trailers. I'm going to actually read the scripts before I go to the fucking movies.
I want you to try it, B, for your own. Listen, this could be an experiment like Christian versus found footage. How about Brandon versus trailers? And now take like a small chunk of time. I don't know. I know you're very much into them. Let's say you go 3 months without watching trailers and then watch the movie and tell us what experience that does for you. How about that? Just to see. You don't know what's going to happen. You might love it. You might say, you know what? I admit that,
I'm trying to think of a movie coming up that I haven't seen a trailer for.
Well, no, just take a 3-month break if you can. I'll go 1 point further. I will, and I hate to do it, I will start watching trailers for the same 90 days that you don't watch them, and then we can report our results. It'll be a fucking fun for the show.
What's going to happen is with the inevitable ending of Halloween Kills, where they're probably going to do the Back to the Future 2 to 3 trailer for the next movie in the showing that you're seeing, because you know that's what's going to happen to get them all pumped for the movie that would have come out.
That means I have to cover my eyes when it comes on at the end of the movie?
Yeah, exactly.
And Dave doesn't worry about anything because he's boycotting.
And then Eric Webster, Dave, they're all going to have to beeline it out the emergency exits.
Get out of my way! Get out of my way! Get out of my way!
I can't watch it! it on the hell. And who's going to look crazy then? Who's going to be the crazy person in the theater then? The people that are like, what the fuck's going on with that guy? Or the non-trailer watcher?
It's true. You're right. If they acted a fool like that, they would look like fucking idiots. You're right.
Things don't fail me now.
Oh, look, it's Pickles. Pickles is here.
Yeah, because this is Skyboy. Skyboy. Okay, buddy. So, yeah, I don't care about the trailer thing anymore. Again, I'm not. This is the thing. People are bringing it to me. They're bringing the conversation to the page and to the show. I'm not talking about it. Jamie said something. It keeps coming to me. This wouldn't have even began again if she didn't tell it to me when I was on that podcast, when we were doing the show. You act as if I'm walking around talking about trailers all the time. I'm not saying shit about them. Do whatever makes you happy. Again,
but you do bring it up when someone says I'm not watching trailers. You make a point of saying, man, more people are coming around to the way I'm thinking. That's what I think fuels the fire on our end.
Well, I can't help
That's what I know, but that's
you're Cameron from American History X, and Eric Webster has become your Derek.
I would love to be a Cameron, except, for something good. You know what I mean? I'd love to say, hey, this is the way I live my life. When other people say, hey, you know what? I want to live my life like that too. It makes you happy. Let's go for it. That's how I look at it. Salute.
What if you were Cameron from Cameron's Closet?
I don't know what that is. I've heard the name.
Is that Kirk Cameron?
It was a really bad horror. No, it's like a horror film from like the 80s.
Oh, Cameron's
Closet.
I know I've heard the title. Wow.
88, maybe.
Wow.
87,
Cameron?
88, maybe.
You know what movie I just saw a few months ago for the first time? Monster in the Closet.
I never saw that.
That is the funniest looking monster, and he's literally just carrying a guy for like 3 hours of the movie. It's really kind of funny. I think that had Paul Walker in it, right? A young Paul Walker.
A young Rami Zada. Cameron's Closet. Yeah, 1988. And it's got a rating of 4.9 on the B. Fantasy horror. Interesting.
Check out the trailer.
Armand directed it, right? The guy that did like Eyes of a Stranger, I think.
Yes, Armand Mastriani. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows you're alone. Oh, I just read an article.
Oh, he knows you're alone, not Eyes of the Stranger. He knows you're alone. Eyes of a Stranger was Ken Weirden, because I just watched Eyes of a Stranger. He knows you're alone.
Oh, okay. I was like, you're going all Derek B on us all of a sudden. He's like, this one directed that. This one directed. I'm like, what?
No, I knew there was a connection somewhere, and I remember the name. I had seen Cameron's Closet. It had a really weird monster. I think it's the guy that did E.T. The design of E.T. designed the monster.
You used to live in it.
For Cameron's Closet. Yeah, I used to.
There you go.
Then it came out. Yeah.
There you go. This is how I am. I don't even like to know what the antagonist is in the movie. Just the fact that you said it's a monster movie now, and I'm not, this is just normal conversation. I'm not complaining, but this is what goes on in my brain. I wish I didn't know. I wish I was going in.
But you would have seen the cover art. Like at some point, you would have seen in the video store, you would have seen the cover art, and it would have shown a fucking monster in the cover.
Well, here's the cover art.
You know what? Oh shit.
That's bad cover art. That's
what? I don't even want to watch movies anymore because they ruined my trailer experience. Seriously, like, I'm just watching shit. You know what? You guys, the next step for you is like, you know what? I'm not watching trailers and I'm closing my eyes during the whole movie. I just want to listen to a movie. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the people now, and this doesn't happen as much anymore. It happened, I would say probably about 5-10 years ago, more, where people were like, oh man, that movie's great. You should turn your color off on your TV and watch it in black and white. What? What is going on with this? People are like, oh, you should check that out in black and white. Like, dude, that was the only way to watch movies in the olden days, and then color came, and like nobody's restoring movies back to black and white.
Plus, they're not shooting it the way you would shoot a black and white movie, and they're not using that type of color. Jamie and Brian just had a big discussion on this a few shows ago about the difference between, black and white movies versus somebody pressing a button and fucking saying, okay, boop, color's gone, here's a black and white.
That's just taking saturation out of it, where they actually lit the film, and there's a whole aesthetic and a whole art form to the black and white picture. It's different. Cameron's Closet, I stand corrected, that was the VHS art for the cover, but the back of the box, I think, showed like a guy with his eyes gouged out and like some of a form of a monster. or
I'm
something
watching
like that.
Cameron's
And-
Closet later, and I'm not watching a trailer for it. All right.
But this is what I like to do. Let me just tell you, I don't like to know the antagonist. I don't like to know anything. I like to go and decide I'm going to watch a movie based on whatever I use, and I find it fun for me to watch the story unfold. It's like if you read a book. You know, when you read a book, you may or may not know what it's about, especially when they teach you in school. Hey, well, this year we're going to read Great Expectations or something. Here's the book. Open up to the first page, read the book, and let the story unfold naturally to you and take it in. That's what I like to do now. I like to know nothing about the antagonist. I want to be surprised. But anyway, there's just one more thing about it. How about this, B? I'll wrap it up. Because I don't want to watch 2021 movies. How about after 1970, when we're done with that, how about I just watch all the trailers for 2021 movies, and at the end of the year, I give my top 21 trailers instead of top 21 movies. You guys can do movies. I'll just watch trailers instead. How about that?
Well, I don't know. Like, why do you have such a what I'm finding is if you actually start looking at the shape of what the top 10 could look like, it's not that abysmal. It's definitely the weakest. It's definitely the weakest year of the most recent years. But we've got Benny Loves You. They're like the Saint Maud. There's like a few standouts that I was like, holy shit. Now, whether like I'll go watch Betty Loves You again, I never really rewatched all my movies. Maybe the top 2 or 3. That's what I would do. You guys always went and did rewatches. I just watched new, which is why I always started slower.
Just because those are the ones we usually talk about more.
Yeah, and true. But I'm noticing it's starting to shape up to be a little bit better. It's not great, but it's definitely better. And we still don't have Candyman. We still don't have Halloween Kills. And I know that Brandon was not as high on Halloween 2018, but that did make it into my top 10. And this one, I don't know if Terrifier 2 is getting released.
Halloween could, because I watched the trailer.
Yeah. And Halloween and Terrifier 2, I don't know if it's getting released for Halloween or not, but if it is, there's another possible contender because Terrifier squeaked its way into my top 10 as well. I think it was either 8 or 9. I can't remember off the top. But where I'm going with it is that there's some possible heavy hitters still coming.
And this usually happens in the final quarter. We said this year after year. It does happen that way. I just am not excited about it because, I don't know. I'm just not excited because I've gone all this time without watching them. And I'm like, you know what? Just based upon the conversations I'm hearing from people, nothing is getting me excited to come back. Is all I'm saying.
How many have you seen?
I don't know. Whatever we did for the show. Whatever we did for how many? 8? I have no idea how. When we changed the format and went back to the old and the new for as long as we did that before we decided to stop because all these 2021 movies were
when I talk about
you've only watched 8 2021.
When I talk about how much
we did for the show is what I did.
Guys, whenever I talk about how much I hate like reviewing movies at this point, the one show that I enjoy doing most is the year-end show. So I do watch a lot of movies for that. And 8 movies for a top 21 is not going to cut it.
Okay, here's how many I did. I'm sorry, B. I'll count while you're talking. I apologize.
Okay, no, you're fine. I'm just saying you'll get the recommendations from me like JP does. I'm going to shoot you out a list of the 30 best films. And that's what's going to happen. And you'll watch those. You'll yell at me that some of them aren't horror. You'll yell at me that some of them lowered your rating, but most of them will be pretty good.
I've watched 26.
26. Okay.
And
I've watched 43 so far.
I think I'm going to stop at 50.
Okay.
52 is always my goal. I always say it, one a week. That's what maybe I'll do it this year because 26 is exactly half of 52. Maybe after 1970, maybe I could do it.
I'll probably end between 75 and 100, I think.
And I'm not going to say how many I watched because now
I don't know if you've
watched too many.
I try to stop. I try to, but
I've watched 156 so far.
Wow. You guys picked the wrong two. Well, not you. More like, see, we were very fortunate because when we were going crazy, it was 2015, 2016. Great fucking years when we were watching 100 movies plus, all of us going nuts, right? 15, 16, 17. Now we got, Heather and Scott. They picked the worst possible time to start a podcast because they're watching 150 movies a year in the worst fucking 2 years we've had.
But not to them. That's the problem. To you, it's the worst. But they're having fun doing it.
I'm not saying they're not having fun. I'm just saying, well, I don't know. It just seems to me like
But if they don't think it's that bad, I don't know if they think it's that
But I
bad.
think
Not only do they not think that, I also don't think that. I honestly don't think 2017 was that great of a year, and 2018 had some top-heavy stuff and was. Don't get me wrong, I loved my list from both those years, but I feel like 2020, 2021 is sort of repeating 2017, maybe not 2018. 18 was stronger, but 2017-ish. 15 and 16 were insane, especially 15 when you look back on it now.
Boy, oh boy. I said it then.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I look at when I'm starting to look at how my top 10 is shaping up, I'm not disappointed with this year.
I'm not disappointed at all either. I agree with you.
This
I
is
feel
all
like
I'm saying.
There's a lot of variety out there this year. I can't pinpoint what this year is about.
Here's what I have. After my 26 movies, I have 2 8.5s. And then everything else is an 8 or below, 7, 6s, 7, 6.5. And this is the same thing that was happening for most of last year. By the end of the year, I had pretty good. All I'm saying is that my feelings about these movies this year, again, and it's not just me, it's what I see online. I don't see a lot of people with as many recommendations as I used to see. It used to be everybody was talking about all these movies as they're dropping. This year I do, like I said, I listen to Scott and Heather. I listen to Mark Nato. I hear what B said. I listen to people that are watching things. And I do hear some good things. And I'll hear from them. But then I won't hear it anywhere else. Where in the past, if there was a hot movie, if there was something good that people were into, the community would be buzzing about it. I don't see the buzzing about any movies this year. Outside of the Netflix, because, again, that's the Netflix effect. It will always happen. And those 1978 Fear Street, I hear a lot about those things because they're pop culture. They're all over there and they're Netflix. But aside from that, this is all I'm saying. I don't get that. I'm not being pulled in this year. You know what I'm saying? Like I have in the past. Before, everybody was always buzzing about new movies. This year, if I didn't listen to fucking Friday Nightmares and Mark Nato, I honestly, I mean, Fresh Cuts does different things too, but I'm just saying, it just. Do you guys feel that, or is it just me? I don't feel there's a buzz going on this year like there usually is with new movies dropping where everyone's talking about it. Do you get what I mean or no?
I know what you're saying, and obviously pandemic plays into it, but I feel like we're coming out of that now, and there's been a lot of releases, and like the Fear Street trilogy, Army of the Dead. Netflix seems to be taking a bigger chance on horror this year than Shudder is.
Well, I'll say this. Shudder had a terrible start with their first couple of releases. I will say their last 3 or 4 releases have been really solid, and I do think I have a couple of contenders from Shudder for not only top 20, but or top 21, whatever we do, but maybe potentially top 10.
And there's been some, there's been duds, of course. There's duds in every year, no question. Like I just talked about The Resort earlier, and that will not be making...
Right.
That will probably be hovering close to the below my list, although I have a lot that are at the bottom there. I'm just looking at what that top 10 to 15's looking like already, and I'm not necessarily disappointed with... I'm like, okay, that one's in there, whatever. But once I start, rearranging, do a few rewatches, some of these other movies come out, it might not look much different than my last few years.
I look at it this way. When my first film that makes every list, I always want it to be an 8 out of 10. I always want to start at 8 out of 10. Granted, now,
Me too.
Now we're doing top 21. That's a lot of films.
Well, that's different.
If you guys aren't watching as many, there's a chance you might start at 7, 7.5, which is still a good score for me. But I still feel like I'm going to have 21 8s or aboves because I'm taking a chance on these smaller films. Like I said, I'm not saying I rated these 2 found footage ones I found, but one of them I saw somebody posted about in the horror community. I can't remember who it was, but Howard's Mill. I had seen it on Tubi as a recommendation, but I heard nothing about it. And then I saw somebody posted saying they were getting Lake Mungo vibes. It's no Lake Mungo, but I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I found it. It's called Howard's Mill.
Yep.
Super low budget.
It's on my list.
Small found footage.
Oh, that was the one you told D about.
Yeah, right? The Howard's Mill, and then I found another one on there called the.
Sorry.
There's a couple. It's part of my list.
I can't remember the other one. It was like.
I'll find it in a second. There's somebody type FF, and I'll tell you all the movies I'm gonna watch.
Oh shit.
Snow on the Bluff. Horror in the High Desert.
Horror in the High Desert. That was the other one I liked. I didn't like it as much as Howard's Mill, but also a solid entry. Very low budget. I don't feel like I feel like it's none of these would pass the cover art test.
Right.
None
Well,
of
I
these
don't
would
know. Hard
probably.
to say. I'd have to look and see.
I don't
People
think
get
they
that
would.
cover art thing wrong with me sometimes. I meant to retort to something that Scott and Heather said. I saved the picture for a long time. It was like 4 episodes ago. They said that it wouldn't pass my test, and I looked at it and I go, well, first of all, see, people don't. I have to expound more on it. I go, this actually would. This would be what we call on that show. This would be considered a wait and see. I'm not going to run out and see it, but I'm going to
Wait and Z.
Yep, but it's on the back.
I like that.
I hate you so much right now. Oh, wait and Z. Oh, wait and Z.
It's a fucking.
He's not the leader of the anti-trailer revolt, but he has a segment called Wait and Z.
It's not a segment. It's just an expression we say on the Watsy. That's all. At least I didn't call it a Wattensy. See, I could have been really fucking.
That is even funnier. You should change it to Watt and Z.
I'm changing it.
We're gonna Watt and Z.
That's it.
That's if you both agree, though. I think.
Both
Well, we
agree
tend to.
both agree that the girl is of legal age. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
By the way, in the Amityville movie, I had to look her up because when she started getting all sexy, I'm like, wait a minute. Sure enough, she was born in '69 or something, so she was like 23 when she made the movie. So even though she was playing
Heather Ward?
Megan Ward.
Megan Ward? Yeah, where's Heather Ward? Where did that go?
Heather Ward's her sister.
Anyway, about Scott and Heather, let me say this thing. I'm happy that they're having fun doing it. My personal opinion is just that 2021 aren't as strong as when we were. But again, I think Heather recently did say something that she's getting more discerning with her picks and that she see too many dogs this year or something. So she is feeling a little bit of that, which is fine. I mean,
that's just of the animal rescue.
Either way,
does she take in dogs?
I don't know what she takes.
She always has a new dog with her.
Really? Maybe she does take in dogs. Maybe that's why she wants to take in Brandon. Just another dog.
Yeah.
You know? Pat him a little bit. Come here.
She'll take
That's
what I
a
give. She'll take what I
DAWG.
give her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll
I
take
gotta-
you in. No.
I got a big D hound for you.
Right. right. Take him in.
Does this come with an actual cock attached to it?
Woo.
Fucking prick. Oh, so basically what I've been trying to say is fuck you, Eric.
Wrap that up. Okay.
I don't like. It's funny that like it got flipped on me. Christian understood it instantly that it's all jokes. Like I'm watching the trailer 50 times. I hope everyone hates it. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I really never thought anyone got that impression. Eric's the first one to like get upset about it.
You know, no, because you're like me. What you say on the page and what you say there publicly and the way you vocalize it on the show are two different things.
So
on the show, we let it fly. We're a little bit more.
But I'm no longer Teflon B, apparently.
Finally, you're not.
Finally, I actually like. I genuinely upset him. He sounded genuinely like upset and angry.
I orgasmed, I think here.
Like
Oh
he
my
literally told me it's just life. Take it easy, enjoy it.
Maybe the weight's gonna come off my shoulders now that you're not Teflon B anymore.
I'm not Teflon B. You should be happy. You always get mad at Teflon B.
Well, I get mad because I'm the opposite. Because
Yeah,
I
so
don't do anything and people shit on me. So maybe people will stop messing with me now.
They
So I'm
will be like, "Hi." What do you mean, hi? Hi's offensive.
Holy shit. We got to talk about these movies. We're almost 2 hours into the show here.
I know. This is why.
I'm sorry for cutting. Yeah.
This is why a BS show like Watson said, do you guys have enough? Make sure it's not, he goes, if it's aimless, it might not work. And I go, usually we can go on for so long. I go, we have to stop to do it. But if not, I
Watson
have
talking about aimless. That's funny.
100 topics written down anyway. It'll never happen. But
I'm
yeah,
just kidding. What?
we got to get to the summer sausage. I'm going to say this. I have 30 movies written down for found footage that I want to watch. I'm more excited about watching them than 2021. Hopefully that changes and I won't do that. But I think maybe once I start watching them again, I'll get back into it. But those are my grievances on 2021. When the year-end show comes around, I have a feeling I'll be singing a different tune.
My grievances for 2021 are as follows. I have 2 things on there. Anti-trailers and Eric Webster.
And there you have it. And there you have it.
And Pickles.
No, I love Pickles. I actually love Pickles.
Pickles is a cute cat.
I love cats
anyway.
with cute names. Pickles is a cute name.
I can't stand pickles.
What about Peaches for a dog?
Fucking
yeah, Peaches for a dog.
Which is coming up.
All right,
It is.
Oh, you're going to run.
Let's do this.
Summer sausage time. Let me say one thing real quick. I because we got cut off at the end, we had to run real. I said I didn't like pickles. I didn't mean the cat. I meant the food. So everybody's. I don't want Eric to come at me now. I love the guy, but if somebody insulted my cat, I might come at them. So no.
I like pickles. I really am not a big fan of Eric Webster, but that's okay.
All right, let's get into the sausage. Let's sizzle it, man. Let's sizzle it.
All right, let's do Amityville. It's about time.
It is about time.
It is about time.
No.
An architect brings home a mysterious old clock, not knowing that it's haunted by the demonic presence of the Amityville house. Soon, the clock begins to alter time and space and starts to possess members of the household.
Here, we'll sum it up. It's a waste of time. Okay, let's get to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The beginning.
Yeah, it's about time. It's about time we move on now.
I disagree again.
Oh my God, are you? This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I disagrry.
Oh
I have not.
That's
I have.
it.
It's not even close.
This
to
is
one of
what
the worst
this
movies
is what
I've ever
happens
seen.
when you don't watch trailers, people.
Okay.
Your brain turns so much.
Brandon and I kind of were speaking to each other, and we were talking about this just while you went. We said, let's save it for the show. I already kind of know where Brandon's going. I'm not quite there. I actually enjoyed this better than 4 and 5, but it's by far a good movie. It's not a good movie. It's all over the place. I also joked about this, so Brandon, I apologize because you already heard this. This is something like, what can we do with this movie? I don't know. We'll just throw anything in and see what sticks. It's something that my buddies and I would have made on the weekend. I jokingly told him, like, we made a movie where one time he's like, hey, pass me a drink. I threw him a can of Coke, and he fell through this door, and he was in an alternate dimension. And that's what this movie feels to me. It's like, we'll just make it work.
In this, though, the Coke hit the floor and popped open and started spinning. That was, like, the best shot of the whole fucking movie.
No, there was more funny things than that.
No, the whole movie is funny. The whole movie is unintentional comedy.
There's some, and I love it. I'll tell you
There's
that.
a lot.
my
There's
God.
a lot. I'm with Brandon. This movie, there doesn't make a lick of sense. They take the idea. At least they show the Amityville house and they take the clock. It's like another piece. So okay, they're keeping the motif going there. Totally different area. Totally different setting. How does Iris know what the hell's going on? Like, there's so many fucking question marks.
She's like a medium.
The character doesn't make sense. Like, they have Rusty. Rusty's character's all over the place. He's like that typical punk kid that wants to skip school, has a problem with the family element, but has a fucking chess game going with Iris. Like,
Yeah, he's got a chess game on with Iris. He's graffitiing swastikas. I think the swastikas actually came from Eric Webster based on the amount of times he brought up Hitler. But you know, I agree with Christian. He's playing chess with Iris. He's fucking.
That's what makes him interesting, though.
He's
not
not
just some
interesting.
punk
He's
kid.
not interesting. He's weird. The only interesting part is when he made a porno with his sister at the end of this fucking movie.
That's what elevates it up, because I'm like, wow, they went there. Who thought this nothing movie would have the balls to actually have like this scene between brother and sister, which was fucked up.
You know why? Because a lot of the things they did in this movie, once again, I'm going to say this, they took things from the earlier movies and they used it here. They used the incest angle is something they brought back from part 2. They used the freaking sludge. A lot in this movie, it was the same sludge that was in that tar-looking shit that was at the end of part 1 when the dog had to pull freaking, George out of the stuff that was bubbling in their basement. And there was some other things I have written down here. They do little fucking callbacks to, even though it's people, the Amityville franchise fell off. They're just cheap cash. I think now more than ever, but at least at this particular time, with the ones that we're doing, they are still tying themselves to the original house in one way or another. And I'm okay with it. It becomes just a generic haunted house thing where anything goes by the end. And it's mostly like, I will agree to a degree where, because this is one of my last notes, too many ideas that they should have expounded on more. That's what I said.
Like
but
everything.
Ultimately, this reminds me of like a Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2 ridiculous type thing, but maybe not as good, but along those lines where anything could happen.
This is a remake of it's really the same movie as Amityville, The Evil Escapes. Just instead of them showing the auction scene at the beginning where he picks it up, he just arrives home with it. Instead, the clock in this case,
But the house,
and then the ultimate dimensions, nothing links. Why is there ultimate dimensions? Like, doesn't make a
They
fucking
did-
lick of
right.
sense.
They
Exactly.
introduced that at the end, and they shouldn't have. I agree.
Not only that, they introduced this 15th century French necromancer
I agree.
angle. Like,
Right.
why?
Stupid. They didn't need that.
And the house isn't menacing until the third act. Like, everything happening, him turning on the light, seeing the portal to the other house. Like, none of it feels threatening, menacing. There's really no violence in the film until the third act, and by that
There's
point,
good
I'm just
gore.
like, what?
It's good
There's
kills.
okay
some
gore.
things that
The
happen.
dog
okay.
bite scene. The
Yes, you
dog
did.
bite looks gross. Yeah.
Yes,
The dog bite scene is great, but for this ex-girlfriend who evidently has a relationship with the kid, so she's going to stick around and take care of him, does she not change a fucking bandage? All his pus-filled bandages are stuck to the wall and shit
Well, she
like
doesn't
that.
want to be there, which is, I think, her arc at the end. It's about time I leave. But they didn't.
Dude.
They even did that one. That was a horrible last line because of it's the name of the movie, and it's a horrible arc because they didn't really do anything with it.
Dude, it's horrible performances all around because at one point...
Except for Peaches.
She yells at him. She yells at him, "Why did you have to do this now? I'm so busy with school."
Yeah.
He got fucking mauled by a dog.
It
And
happens. I've had people blame me for shit like that. That wasn't my fault.
It was
Females that
atrocious.
I've been
It
with?
was atrocious. It was
My
Of
ass.
course you have.
Some people act that way.
You went back and slept with them, though, right?
Probably.
Yeah,
But
probably.
that's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with it. I'm saying I've had women get mad at me and like, that's what I'm saying. That's something that would have happened to me in my past. Blaming me for something that there was it had nothing to do with me happening. I was the victim of something like that happening.
A lot of violent mood swings in this film. The acting was very uneven. The comedy just was a bit.
It was-
He suffered some discomfort. That's what the doctor says to. He looks like he got mauled by a fucking grizzly bear. He suffered some discomfort. And that was my favorite scene. That was my favorite scene in the whole movie because he yells at Mrs. Yetman. He's like, "Peaches should not be off the leash, Mrs. Yetman." And I'm just like, this guy's
Whose
a
dog?
fucking prick.
I
I
mean,
hope
we
he
know it's-
dies. And then he gets attacked the next scene.
We know it's Mrs. Yetman's up because of that scene. I think they wrote this movie as they went because before we know that, Peaches comes to their house. Rusty lets him in to their house. I'm like, oh, they've got a family dog, Peaches. And then Rusty goes in and starts barking at the clock because, I mean, something's amiss. Okay, cool.
Peaches
then we find out
barks at
it's
the clock.
not Peaches. That Peaches is not their family dog.
That's why he
So-
said go back home. 'Cause
Oh, okay, but
apparently
it's
they're
still so
close.
stupid. Who's getting? Okay,
Why
I
is
think
that
that's
stupid?
just
No, hold on. They're close with these people. That's their neighbor. They're close with the dog.
not
It
according to the dad. The dad's like, put that dog on a leash or
Well,
whatever
no,
like
because
that.
he cares about it. Because he doesn't want the dog fucking running out into traffic.
No, because he's obsessed with like the community rules.
the
That's
code.
why Dick Miller
That
is
code
upset
is-
about
yeah.
the hedges.
You're right. He is
Yeah.
obsessed with the community rule, so it fits in with his character. And him becoming what he became is also just like George Lutz in part one. How his personality changes and he becomes this asshole and then gets focused. George Lutz became focused on the wood and all this other stupid shit, and this guy got focused on, which I did like a lot, because he's an architect, designing those fucking Amityville houses. I loved it. What I really loved was the first part when he was looking at other houses and he grabbed them and he crunched them and he said to the girl, he goes, "These are too small." I didn't know if he was talking about the developments were too small that he was doing, like the final model of the house, or the miniatures that he made were too small.
Honestly,
Wow.
that whole scene, I was
Yeah.
pretty much checked out.
I
didn't pay
agree,
attention to
Brandon.
any of the dialogue
Oh,
during
man.
that
Same.
scene.
I loved it.
I hated it.
Yeah,
Wow.
because
He
the
entertained
dad
me.
who I liked so much in Monster Squad overacted so much in this movie that it just takes you out. It's one of these movies that, again, the production value is way above what you'd expect it to be. Definitely a major step up from The Curse, but and there's some nice lighting, more Suspiria lighting, like it's like blues and whatever. So there's okay, but it's all in this house, so it's a little dull in that regard. Iris, I want to like her. I like how she head fakes that stupid diaper van service or whatever like that.
What the fuck
I like,
is a diaper delivery?
yeah.
What the
Well,
fuck?
it exists, but it was so weird that they used that out of anything that they could have used. I guess they didn't have fucking
It's
eBay
funny.
or Amazon at the time to do it. But I love how she manages to deke out that and not get run over by the van and
was great.
sort of one up it. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Only to then die from that
The
birdie
stork.
thing.
was
Yeah, the
so
stork thing at the top. So I like that.
it was-
That's probably the best sequence in the movie, even though it's the whole setup to it is really weird and odd and
Well, it's ridiculous because she's walking with a cane because she's an old, decrepit woman. Next thing you know, she's parkouring, somersaulting out of the way behind the mailbox.
And then she laughs. That's crazy.
She parkours out of there. She fucking looks like a stuntman. And it's just, like, it's so dumb. And the fucking diaper delivery guy looks like he's from 1920. I'm like, what is this?
Well, that's the gimmick. That's when that was started.
We got to call this in, ma'am. Call it in on what your diaper delivery service. Like, call this in like he's got like.
I've never heard of
He's
this.
one of those guys that have like the band that I was talking about earlier.
I'm sorry. I never heard of diaper delivery services. I just thought I was alive during this time. I just thought 1987, if somebody needed a diaper, you went to the supermarket and bought diapers.
Or single parents that are at home that couldn't get out because they don't want to put the kid in the car and everything else. They have diaper delivery.
They called 1920 and had this guy come.
The dog scene of the attack, the Irish jumping out, and the brother and sister scene are the three standout scenes in this movie. Everything else is very run of the mill, and will probably not change your opinion, other than you may be surprised at the production value. Again, this is free on Tubi, so you'll get those nice little interruptions every 10 minutes or so with the same commercials, which were all trailers for Candyman, by the way, when I was watching it.
You'll be praying for the breaks on Tubi while watching this fucking movie.
I definitely did not
like. That was my favorite part of this movie, because I watched it on Tubi also, because Amazon has it also, but they didn't have subtitles on Amazon, and the volume was weird on Amazon. On Tubi, it was louder, and they had the subtitles. So
Tell you what,
watched it on Tubi.
I have the blue, the Vinegar Syndrome from that set, that cursed set, and it looks fucking great.
Dude,
and I'll tell you what,
Vinegar Syndrome's awesome, and that set looks awesome. But just knowing what those movies are in there, I will never buy it. If somebody gives it to me for free, I'll keep it. But I can't condone owning this movie.
It's probably overpriced. No, I get that. It's probably overpriced, and I understand your opinions on it since you don't enjoy the movies. That's fine. I get that. But it does look really good. That's something compared to the last one and the one before it even. This one, the production values, this looks good. This looks really good. You know what I mean? And I hate to use this line because I'm going to make fun of other podcasters because they say this all the time. Oh, this movie looks better than it has any right to. I always hear that, and in the back of my mind I'm thinking, fuck you. I want every movie to look great. I think every movie has a right to look great. That's my opinion.
I alluded to that. I think, and that's what I was saying, is you would not expect that just based on the last one we watched. The production value seems to be quite decent for this. Another line that I liked was that when he was skipping school and he was having his chess game with Iris, Rusty says that he's having a mental health day. Before, mental health days were a thing.
Yeah,
now they're all over the place. I mean, I'm sure they were a thing. Obviously, he references it, but I'm saying that now you hear that all the fucking time. I'm taking a mental health day, but back then you didn't. And I thought it was funny because it's also a joke because he's just skipping school. But
how about when he belches in the cop's face?
Yeah, that was great. I wasn't expecting it. I cracked up because I wasn't.
That was a good scene. I mean, it's such terrible acting. That female cop is like interrogating him. All he did was like graffiti a house, and then they arrest him immediately for murder. Like, oh, he might have graffitied a house, so he automatically committed this murder.
Well, yeah, because things kept happening, and he's the only person that ever caused trouble in that area. So by default, they're going to him again. Not everything makes perfect sense. I'm going to agree with what you said also, B, about certain things. And both of you, yes, it's by far not a perfect movie. I will agree with some of these critiques. They should not have brought in the 15th century French thing. All we needed to know was that this came from the Amityville house. They had to make a connection between those two to figure out the clock. Once again, there was a clock in the Amityville house in part 1 and part 2, and another connection to part 1. The girl getting locked in the closet, the babysitter, this girl gets locked in the freaking room in this one and she's banging to get out. They have these little things that Amityville fanboys, if such a thing exists, are going to pick up on. Apparently, I'm one of them because
They don't exist, Amityville fanboys. And if you start a movement of this and then claim that it wasn't you.
I want to say that Jamie, this is one of her favorite franchises. I could be wrong. I thought she wrote something somewhere recently saying that she's a fan of the Amityville franchise. Man, I may be wrong, but
I really like Jamie up until this moment.
Well, so far I am fine with it. The same way I felt when I watched the Hellraiser movies last year by myself, which hopefully we do next year for Summer Sausage. But I was going in with low expectations, and I ended up saying, you know what? These are good These movies are fine. Maybe if they didn't have the Amityville connection, they're not pieces of shit. I'm actually fine with these movies. Are they great? Not by any means, but I'm not regretting my time with them.
No, this was a piece of shit.
See, to me, it was not. It looked good. Even the effects were good. And you know who did the fucking effects? The makeup here? KNB. This is fucking KNB in their fucking heyday still in 92.
I mean, it had some cool effects. The boyfriend and the goo sinkhole and the face. And
yeah, well, that looked
cool.
like a reject from The Blob. That looks the exact same effect as the guy on the ceiling from The Blob remake.
Yeah.
That
I like
face. And then, but he goops down and it comes up. My favorite guy in the movie is actually the boyfriend. It's like they walk that fine line of being, that's just such a weird thing for me to say. But they also walk a fine line of making him seem like the dick boyfriend, but he was so much nicer. Did he hit you? Did he hit you? Did he touch you? Did he hit you? Like, he loves this girl.
He loves her a lot that he's staying over at the ex-boyfriend's house.
I don't
walking
like
around
that
in
at
a
all.
robe.
Yeah.
Christian, I think it's funny because I was texting Scott while I was watching Scott and Heather, and I said, I fucking hate this movie. This is my favorite character, and I showed a picture of Lenny, the boyfriend. I said, this is my favorite character, and he's an asshole.
Yeah.
My favorite character is an asshole.
I don't like him at all. He's my least favorite character.
Oh.
I did not like him at all. I didn't like the way he talked to his girlfriend. I didn't like the way he was so domineering, and he was trying to fucking run all their shit, getting all uptight about, and then having the gall to fucking move into this guy's house just because the guy got bit by a fucking dog, and he needs rest for 2 days. Number one, she wasn't even
The dad was an asshole.
I understand, but it's because he got possessed. I don't think he was an asshole before. I thought he was fine. But when Amityville took over his mind, he started making all the little Amityville houses, which was another good call. I loved it when all the houses were replaced that he made the first time, and later on they were Amityville houses, and now he had the Amityville house drilled into his fucking head. He couldn't get it out, and he kept fucking... I love when that happens to somebody in a horror movie, when they can't get something onto their head, and they start putting it on paper. And he keeps doing this, and he's drawing the Amityville house, and all this other shit. I liked all that stuff, but I thought the other guy was a fucking asshole too. But he had a reason to be an asshole. This other, the father, because he was getting possessed, and he got the clock from.
Brandon, I don't know. I checked out when he arrived home with the clock, which I think is like scene 2 or maybe 1, where fucking Iris is standing outside, looks at the house, and then it turns into the Amityville house.
It was great.
Like, there's no connection. No, that was stupid as shit. And then it dissolves back to the regular house, and she's like, okay, well, I'm on my way home. And then she just goes fucking home. It was almost as bad as when the clock goes back in fucking time and turns Rusty into a baby, and then turns the mom into an old lady, and then they have that actress that goes like...
That was ridiculous.
And she's super old, and then she turns back and is like, okay, Ma, we need you in the movie.
Yeah.
I know you get shorter as you age.
What?
I know you shrink a little bit as you age, but that woman shrank about 3 feet because the actress was pretty tall, and then the old lady was like
such a bad cutaway, and then she's still
horrible.
like, you see her hand dripping down, and it gets old, and then they fuck everything that they just did up by making it like it was all a dream, and then redo the opening scene again type thing as like it was like a premonition, if you will, and then she wakes up with that thing that she opened the door with.
No,
it
wasn't a
measuring
premonition.
thing.
The clock resets itself.
Okay.
So it's basically it's going to repeat itself, but she stops it by smashing the clock.
Okay.
Yeah, because the clock goes back, the clock goes forward, and then the clock resets.
Right, there's all kinds of crazy shit. They didn't.
I wish it reset an hour and a half early, so I didn't have to watch the movie.
I should have. You know what? I didn't watch the trailer for this. I should have.
I'm going to now. I'm curious to know what they made it look like. But still, listen. This is the 4th movie in a row that they shit the bed in the freaking 3rd act. All the stuff with the time and the baby and the way they went, they did not have to introduce that at all. And again, I like the beginning. When the clock comes in the house, they are bringing a piece of Amityville into that house. And if this woman has any type of vision, which she obviously does, and they have that lightning flash, and it flashes back to the original Amityville house, you think it was stupid. I thought it made total sense. You're bringing Amityville house into there. That's where fucking evil resided. Now it's doing a mockery of that house just for a second. Just to show. I was so happy to see the Amityville house. It was like seeing an old friend because we didn't see it the movie before. Yeah, but anytime I see the Amityville house in an Amityville horror movie, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm like, okay, that's great. A quick little lightning flash, and then the windows turn into the fucking windows of the new house. I thought it was kind of clever. I liked it. I don't know. That's where we differ, I guess. But again, I'm not going to defend where they went in the fucking last 15 minutes. They didn't have to do that. That's the worst part. The fact that you bring in a cursed clock from the Amityville house in your house to begin with is all I need to know. All the power resides in that clock. The clock drills itself into the fucking place, into the mantle, and stay. Okay, that is all I need to know. Leave it at that. Do not. A possession is fine. The father gets possessed. The daughter gets possessed. That's what would happen. There don't have to be rules in a haunted house thing, especially when you're talking about this franchise. Introducing that time shit into
the rules.
Just because it happened to be a clock. Just because it happened to be a clock, they had to put fucking that time travel shit in the end, and that was a big mistake. Those are the two big problems: the time travel stuff and the fact of the flashing back to the whatever they talked about, that 15th century French fucking torture thing. They didn't need that. All we needed to know is this came from the Amityville house, this clock, which it did, and bad things are happening in this house as a result. They could have kept it a little bit simpler. So I'm going to disregard that shit you guys talked about. Aside from that, I enjoyed my time. It was fine. Was it great? No, it was just a movie about a haunted house connected to Amityville, and I was fine with it. I was fine with the characters. There was some I liked. There was some I didn't like. It was just a movie. It didn't really, that's just my take on it. I'll tell you what, I cracked the fuck up. Oh my God. That scene, again, with the fucking dog's head in that fucking thing outside of her pool. Every fucking Amityville movie since 3, something ridiculous happens that I'm dying. It's fucking so funny. She hears the dog whimpering and making noise, and then she lifts up that thing, and the dog's head is in the fucking thing. I was dying.
Wish it was a cat's head.
It is stupid, but it's funny. See, to me, that's what works. I would rather watch. That makes me laugh. Troll 2 and fucking these other movies and Psycho Gorman, they don't make me laugh. Seeing that fucking dog's head in a thing with a whimpering noise, to me, that's funny. That's my humor. It's unintentional, but that's the beauty of it. They're not trying. They're trying to be weird, but it's a situation where it's so bad it's good.
I think you had it right. They're not trying, and then there's like almost like a disdain. It's almost like formulaic, and they're not trying to deliver the goods. I feel like it's
all they delivered was some soggy fucking diapers in this film.
I think they tried too hard. They tried too hard.
There's way too much going on, and it loses all feel of an Amityville film. And the little nods to it that you point out just aren't enough to save this from being a really, really below par film for me.
I mean, I did like it better than the last two, but it's by no means great. Like, I
didn't think I could like anything worse than the last one, and then I watched this.
No, this is definitely better than The Curse.
I don't think so. I think at least their story was cohesive enough, and I kind of like the logical stuff that they connected it with. A sinning priest and stuff that at least had some connection.
And you know who directed this one?
Yeah, Hellraiser 2.
Yeah, and it reminded me
Tony
of the
Randall,
beginning.
right?
Yeah. The beginning reminded me of a Hellraiser movie. That music they were playing, and anytime they started the clock, that fucking music box music was playing. This is like Hellraiser, and then it
reminded me of Hellraiser because I wanted to stick a fucking pin in my head.
Oh, I've been disappointed with a lot of his movies. I think Hellraiser 2 was a fluke. I almost think that Clive Barker came in and directed it since it's so close to the original.
No, Steven Spielberg did.
Or Tobe.
Tobe. Yeah, Tobe.
Because I'm not I haven't really. I think he did that Children of the Night for Fangoria as well, or whatnot. There may have been one other movie that I liked of his, but I can't think of it right now. Anyway, I write like this is. I have no other notes. I watched it. I did watch it again because if you remember, I watched this by mistake, thinking for whatever reason it was He did do Ticks?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one I liked then. I thought that was, I was going to say that, but I thought it was Brian Yuzna for whatever reason.
What?
That directed that. So anyway, I liked Ticks at the time. I haven't watched it in a long time. But anyway, this movie is right in the middle. It's kind of like, it's bad enough to get some enjoyment from it, but it's definitely not a good movie. And I was like a 5 out of 10.
Not bad. Okay, 5 out of 10. I'll say this. I'm not going to overlook every bad thing. There are also some problems in this. Same shit I point out in Nightmare 4. If I see a problem, I'm going to say it. Like fucking in the production of it. It was the worst hanging I've ever seen. When the guy supposedly hangs, I like the introduction of the hanging because it's a little house and you see the guy hang, but when the guy supposedly hangs himself, it looks like the way they describe what the kids did in the lodge. They just hooked the fucking thing to the back of his jacket and then tied something around his neck to make it look like he was hanging and swinging, but you could see, it was bad editing, that the fucking thing was hanging from his fucking jacket. And then the other part, when the doors closed on the girl and she got locked in the room, you could see strings when it reopened or when
yeah,
it
you could. Yeah, you
right?
could. Terrible.
So I'm not going to sit here and fucking overlook that stuff. That stuff is bad, and it shouldn't have been in the film. Maybe they didn't expect high def ever to show it. But either way, those were some funny things. I don't think... See, the story I was on board for, again, I was just watching a movie, and I wasn't bored by it. I was into what was happening here until the wackadoo, fucking zany last 15 minutes where they took it someplace they didn't need to. And it's too bad, because I enjoyed... enough of what I saw. So for me, it's a 6.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, see, for me, like, it loses... I have no idea what's going on. I'm checked out very early. The only reason why I even finish the movie and pay attention the best I can is so I could have notes to talk about, and then I feel like, well, I'm not even going to say that much. But the story makes no sense. I have no idea what's going on. I get the connection to Amityville, the clock, but it takes too long for these two to become possessed. They should have had one person become possessed and torment and kill other members of the family and other members of the neighborhood. It didn't happen. It became a gag a minute at this point, and overall it was just a fucking mess. 3 out of 10.
Whew. Mamma mia.
And I came up a half a point.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're going to be in... I think you're going to be in for a world of hurt moving forward.
Well,
I guess so. So far, I'm okay.
I've seen Dollhouse, and I remember thinking it was okay, but I know we have one more to go. But this one, this one's the same as the last one. I think the last one had elements of a good story, was just so terribly acted. This one had decent cast members, but no story.
So the last one was just boring. That was its biggest problem, is it was boring. This one, you can argue, depending on your take on the... I don't know if it's boring, because there's so much wacky shit going on, just nothing makes fucking sense.
It's pretty boring. Wouldn't it have been better if, since the father's the one who bought the clock and had spent so much time with it before he even brought it home, if it was him who just became possessed and he's tormenting his own family? Wouldn't it have been creepier if he had a scene with his daughter at the end rather than Rusty? It just feels very disjointed. It should have been the father tormenting and slowly becoming this evil asshole. I mean, he's kind of a dick, but they never really explored. Then he spends so much time in his office or in bed with the food all over his bed and the bandage just pushed on the thing. And I mean, even though I like the boyfriend, you're right, it's almost like the boyfriend shouldn't even be there. It doesn't make any
Fuck
sense.
him. I don't like him.
It doesn't make sense.
That he's there? No, it doesn't make sense that she's even there at
It
first.
doesn't.
She's only a
I
dog.
get it though, because she had a long relationship with him, and even though they're done, she still kind of has a relationship with the kids because she was probably around for a while. So she.
Yeah, but the kids are old enough to take care of themselves.
They
She's
are.
a dog.
They are old enough to not only take care of themselves, but to change their father's bandage. She sticks around to do it, and she doesn't even change his bandages.
No.
Nobody calls the doctor, even though he's clearly infected. I don't know why I'm talking about this again.
You know why she doesn't? Because she's too worried about what her boyfriend's doing to her. She's fucking under his spell. That's the problem. He's giving her so much shit. There's a lot going, and I'm glad they didn't go typical B. In a typical movie, one guy gets possessed and terrorizes his family. In
I
this
would
one,
like that.
that's the way it starts. Then later on, we get to see this girl overnight change fucking shit. I'm like, wow. She looks in the mirror, and I always love mirror shit. I'm a sucker for it. And the mirror looks back at her and gives her this fucking evil persona. And boom, all of a sudden, overnight, she goes from this, little cutesy fucking teenage girl to this fucking starlet.
You always like mirrors.
Starlet,
Huh? Let's reflect on that.
They
Huh?
did.
I said you always like mirrors, huh? Let's reflect on that.
Birds.
Oh my God. Mirrors.
What?
You like
You
always
know-
like mirrors. Let's reflect on that. That's funny.
Shit, man, that is a
But
good one.
the way they make her a starlet is they put a lot of makeup on her and tease her hair 80s style.
Yeah, but she looks
I thought it was
slutty.
1992. They
Hey,
make sure you know it's 1992. Amityville, 1992. It's About Time is the name of this
It's
movie.
about time. That's what. The
What
last
the hell?
time.
Yeah. What the hell was that all about? It's about time.
That's what. It's fucking
Terrible.
And she's
Terrible.
taken off on her own.
It's like, I've had enough of
Horrible.
you, your slutty fucking daughter, and your Nazi son. I'm out of here. Oh, by the way, please cut down my ex-boyfriend who's hanging from the side of your house.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he wouldn't be hanging. He's alive. So is she going back to her abusive relationship with him?
Well, I am actually very excited about the next one because you guys have been lower on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films, and I know you both mentioned. I
What,
think
that
Dave
every-
mentioned that he liked this one.
That every film is a part 1 or a part 2? That there's
Well,
technically
we
part
knew
3 in this
that,
film?
but I mean, we knew that.
Wow. Or a part 0.
Yeah, this is let's do part 0, and then I'll introduce it. All right, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning from 2006. Before being sent to serve in Vietnam, 2 brothers and their girlfriends take one last road trip, but when they get into an accident, a terrifying experience will take them to a secluded house of horrors with a chainsaw wielding killer. All right, here's one observation I've had about this franchise that finally changed. Every film talks about a chainsaw-wielding killer, yet there seems like there's no chainsaw killing in any of these fucking films. Finally, we get a movie with not only like half a dozen chainsaw kills, but awesome chainsaw kills.
Yes.
And I'll say this now, because it's been a while since I've seen this one. This is easily my 3rd favorite in the franchise now, right
I've been
behind.
Nice.
saying it. Yep, behind 1 and
Easily.
2. Behind 1 and 2, right?
Behind 1 and 2,
Yep,
yeah.
I've been saying
Yeah,
this
well,
since
that's-
the fucking I saw
And
it.
not
And
that
so we're all in
far.
agreement. We're all kind of
Yep.
in agreement because this is right up there as well. But I do like Leatherface. I do like Leatherface, the third one, and this, and I will see. We'll get to the other one as well.
Yeah.
But goddamn, do I like this? I think this is
Yeah,
like
man.
better than the remake. I saw this in the theater. My buddy still texts me to this day saying, "You're the only one that laughed in that theater when he sawed the guy's other leg off." It says,
Oh,
"What was
great,
that
I
for?" Balance. And
Yeah.
I fucking lost it in the theater. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, because that's so morbid. Why are you?" I'm like, "It's
It's
hilarious."
hysterical. Yes.
It is funny, but it is morbid because the gore is amped up like crazy
yeah.
in this one. So
By
it
the way-
is unsettling.
Do you guys, where did you watch it? Because I have the unrated blue,
In
and
my
it's
house.
5 minutes longer. Then it's an hour and 35 minutes, where the other one is only 90 minutes. Because here's what happened. I had the unrated blue. It's actually a Canadian one, because there's some French writing on it. I have a couple like that. And it's unrated, hour
A
and
bag of
35.
milk.
And what happened was I started watching it, but it doesn't have any subs. So I was like, shit, there's no fucking subtitles. I go, well, it's on HBO Max. I went to HBO Max, and I was going to watch it there. And as soon as I started playing, yes, it had subtitles, but it was an hour and 30 minutes. It was not unrated. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the unrated one. So I don't know how
I've
much
got the blue. I've got the
much.
dual. I've got the one with the part 1 and the beginning on it. The dual one. It's I got to double check, but I'm almost positive it's the unrated version.
I hope so, man, because it makes it. This movie is gory, and I'm sure
Yeah,
that.
and it is 5 minutes. It is a 5-minute difference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go run up and find out.
Yeah, you got to find out, man. But
I'll
man,
say this: the opening credits are very Saw-esque with the music, with the whole setup. I mean, right
know.
then and there, I'm just like, I'm on board.
yes, and the music's a little Saw-ish too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The
I
look of
agree.
it is, it's the times. It happens to
It
be
is.
the time.
It is, but this one provides far more entertainment than 03. Far more entertainment.
This is how you do a prequel.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You don't wait until the final frame to say, and Leatherface was born. You know how they do that in prequels?
Yeah.
They wait till the fucking
Yeah.
third act to say how this became this. This is, no. In the first fucking 10 minutes, you're going to see what happened. You're going to find out this is how they adapted. And
I'm
the
gonna
way
say-
they made him a cop, the way they did everything
Yeah.
was done
Yeah.
so fucking well.
And the way he becomes crazy, because even at one point he talks about serving in the Korean War, and he calls himself like at Colonel Captain Hoyt. He's calling himself by the wrong name.
Yes, I know.
So I mean, obviously he's nuts, but the one thing I will say, and this might sound a little dumb, because the only sort of downfall to it being a prequel is knowing that all the bad guys survive. Yet, for some reason, the ending of this film, even though it's the only logical way to get to the 2003 version, is still a shock every time you see it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's awesome.
Right?
I love it too. I love it too. The only thing I was thinking when I rewatched again for this episode is, wouldn't it have been good if the girl got away and it's the girl that they pick up in part 2003. That would have been the only other thing I said. Why wouldn't they have gotten the same actress or someone that looked like her if they couldn't get the same one and just had her walking down the street and all of a sudden...
we would have known. But then we would have known she got away. So it's almost better off forgetting. Because I forgot as I'm watching it. The thought never occurred to me. Like, you can retroactively, you can go back now and say, the only thing about watching this as a prequel is you know that the final girl doesn't live. But here's the thing. When I watched the movie in the theater, that is not where my mind was going. I wasn't like saying, okay, when she got in the car, in another switcheroo, like they did in the movie before, they did a switcheroo with the two, them going out one thing and him going out the other door and not expecting it. But I don't remember watching the girl drive away and saying to myself, well, obviously this is going to happen. My mind was not there. I was just, and then when it did happen and the way it happened is fucking gory and beautiful, I was like, awesome. And then at the end when he walks away and you get the fucking voiceover from fucking Lara Kettigan.
It's awesome too because the crash scene happens like just outside their jurisdiction, and because they're in a dead town, like I was watching with my dad and he really enjoyed it as well, and he's like, well, aren't they gonna know? Like, no, he's going back to his town, which is considered a dead town. Nobody even lives there. Like, this crash happens at this scene. They're not gonna know what the hell happened.
Wheelchair guys
explain the same way that the cop's dead. Isn't someone going to realize, hey, wait a second, this fucking cop's dead? Like, after a while, and this guy just assumed his identity. Great from a movie standpoint, but in reality, at what point is this going to be found out? Well, we find out it's never found out. He just has assumed this guy's identity and seems to have been able to become the cop of this area now for however long.
Why did they even have I mean, I love that scene because he takes his identity, but like, you would think he'd kind of be off the grid anyways, being the only law enforcement in a town with like 6 people left.
Yeah, well,
so I could buy it given the times.
I look the other way, and that's why it's not a perfect movie, and that's why my rating only goes so high. Same as how can they possibly saw off 2 legs of the uncle and him not go to a hospital and survive? Those are things you have to overlook. I wish they would have addressed them better. I wish they would have maybe addressed the situation with the cop better, and it could have been okay, but it's just part of being along for the ride.
You know I love you, Uncle Monty.
Yeah,
I love the cast in this. All good looking. So if you're girls, I think you'd think the guys are good looking. The girls are smoking. They're great. That opening scene, I don't care if your mind is distracted. I would not be that distracted.
No way. How stupid, especially
when she's in bed with them and like licking, licking
about my
him,
brother.
and he's like, "Oh, I'm thinking." Like, but I do like that little play they've got. Like he's going back to Nam and he's bringing his brother there and whatever. I do like that. I think that's great, and like, I don't know. It's a little bit they thought the characters out more, and again, I guess we're used to having cheaply written or really poorly written things. I think they did a great job setting these characters up. You think you care about them, and this movie moves at a way better pace than the 2003 one.
And they make Hoyt a much more menacing killer rather than spewing so much dialogue. He's just like, he shows up, he blows that biker chick away, which is a great scene, you know, when they crash into the cow. I mean, it's fucking
cow.
Did you guys have a problem with the look of this one? Because you kind of didn't like it in the other one. I think they kind of carried over the look, which I still like it. I think they did a better, maybe even did as good of a job in this one.
I talked about when you disappeared for 2 seconds about the Saw feel to it.
Yep.
Even with the music at the opening, and you know what? The look didn't bother me as much. Maybe it's because the film was much more enjoyable.
Oh, that crash sequence when they hit the cow is fucking
phenomenal. My God. Yeah, that's where bagged milk came from. Somebody was standing on the side of the bag, and the milk just landed right in the bag. Bloody fucking bagged milk.
And Hoyt was great when she goes, oh, we're so glad to see you. And he goes, oh, I bet you are. And he shoots her. I love it. He has some great lines in this movie. See, in this movie, he doesn't annoy me at all. Maybe because he doesn't have fucking 20 straight minutes like he did with the other kids in part 1, where it became a little just this. Yes, he was sprinkled in a lot still, but something about the delivery. I don't know. Like the comedy came from him, but in a weird way. Like I said, I just bet you are, and he's just little and like balance. That type of comedy was good, but it wasn't overkill, and he was the only one really doing it. Although the girl, his mother, she does crack me up with some of the things she's boy, you really think you're something special, and I love that relationship there.
Yeah, I also like. They definitely talk about cannibalism way more in this one.
They should.
Yeah, I mean, like
And
you
they
know
have
that
a dinner scene.
we're never gonna go hungry again. Like they spell it. It's really well done, that scene. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but it is the unrated version on here as well.
Great.
Which it's funny because I want to know what now has been cut. So
all that gore. That's what I'm thinking. It's
gotta be seeing the biker fully in half, stuff like that.
Oh yes. In the end,
what a great kill! What great kills!
Yes, they are great kills. They can fucking
one after another chainsaw because it's like
even the beginning, the hammer, the fucking.
Oh, love it! Love the fact that Leatherface is actually killing.
Yes,
he's actually menacing. Back to the original. Even
and
part 2. I know you guys think like maybe like he looks too comical, but at least he's like. He's crazy and scary. I feel like the last few films, he's just been a side character.
I thought he was scary in the last one, but I think the guy does it good here. Was it the same guy that did these two?
Same guy.
Because I know and this is the guy that was like kind of like an asshole online, putting down Gunnar Hansen and whatever, and saying, "Look, he was in one movie. I've been in 2 or whatever like that." Like I don't know the extent of that. I don't know
what up them.
I don't know. I don't know anything really about it other than it happened.
I don't know anything. I don't know.
Yeah, but the worst part is when he died, the day that fucking Gunnar Hansen died, his fucking Facebook status was boo-hoo.
Yeah, fucking.
Oh, okay.
So you don't do that. I mean, everyone knows they already had beef. Then you do that. All you're going to do is ignite. There's probably a reason we don't see this guy around anymore.
You just don't do that as a fucking human being.
Fuck no.
An asshole.
Of course not. Right. No shit. I'll never forget that. I don't know if he's still around. I can look him up easily, but I mean, I don't know. Either way, he's trouble. I'll tell you that. But man, the gore, again, they give you just what they need to give you for a prequel. Even in the opening credits, they show those little things. He's found in the fucking dumpster. He's deformed, this and that. He has facial. They have those little things. They just give you enough. And when they take pictures of him, he's hiding his face, so you see that he has shame. He wants to be covered up. You get all you need to know about him in the fucking opening credits and in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
And you get the satisfaction at the end. And you get the satisfaction of that opening kill of actually cheering for Leatherface because that was the prick who threw the baby in the dumpster in the first place.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you remember, or how does Hoyt know that one of them's a draft dodger?
Because he burns his card.
Yeah, he started to burn the card.
Okay, that's what
Which
it was.
one
Okay,
of you
yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Card?
Yeah, and so that's cool because I think you mentioned, Brandon, that he referenced himself as Colonel, so that obviously he had some crazy. But
he served in the Korean War, but he calls himself Colonel Hoyt, and his name wasn't Hoyt. His name was like Charlie before because they call him Charlie at one point. It's like, it's not
fuck
Charlie
you, Charlie.
Anymore. Sheriff Hoyt.
He was the fuck you, Charlie. They use but again, so that's cool too because then you get that connection of why he takes it seriously. And he's taking the law into his own hands. It's like all that's great. The reintroduction of the fat lady.
Oh, she was great too.
Sorry if that is offensive, but how else do you describe her? The fat lady with glasses in these movies, and when they're just having tea, the obese lady.
Skinny. I believe not skinny.
Not skinny's more, and she's drinking tea. As the woman, the girls.
She's the tea lady. That's her name.
Bang down
she is the tea lady. She's credited as tea lady.
She's not the fat lady. C. Let's be PC. She's the tea lady.
Tea lady.
Sorry, tea lady for everybody out there that was offended by fat lady with the glasses.
Teabag lady.
Teabag lady.
But that seems great. Where they're just having a casual conversation. And the heat or whatever.
I just love them little chocolates.
Yeah.
Sweet Jesus, she said. She was that excited about food. Oh, sweet Jesus. Well, meanwhile, the girl's fucking underneath their table. They're just carrying on conversation. Oh, that's great. See, there's a little bit of fucking the right type of humor, but you want to have in a movie like this. That's fine. And again, they actually reference the original from '74 more in this one than they do in the remake because they have the dinner scene here, and then at the end you see she escapes the dinner scene and jumps out the window, right? And then after that, you see Leatherface chasing her, running out of the house. The only thing they did in the original was the fact that a trucker came by at the end. You know what I mean? But I mean, other than that, there's actually more beats in this movie that are like the original than the remake had. It's interesting.
Man, our lead chick, man, she was tough. Who gets thrown from a fucking car? No, not a scratch on her. And she, like, I love that in movies.
Well, they all got the obligatory, like, blood down the one side of their face or something like that.
At least the ones who were still in the car, like, it can make sense you could walk away from an accident. She was projectile out of the car like a fucking missile, like a mile away in the field, and she just, like, stands up and starts running back. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever. Well, it's a movie.
This is the one, I mean, it happened in Leatherface with Bill Burr's character. I think that was his name. Not Bill Burr. I can't remember.
Bill Burr, the comedian?
Bill the comedian. No, Bill, I don't remember his name. Bill Butler. His character, I think he gets stuck in a bear trap and whatnot. And I always thought it happened in every sequel since. I even thought it happened in the remake, but I don't think it does. And it's this one that he gets stuck in the bear trap, and he's stuck there for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. At least he wasn't discovered in a tub later on. The girl comes back, and there he is, nice and easy.
Yeah.
Not all that taking forever.
And they get him out, and he has a great, like, hero sort of farewell. Like, you know, he saves Christy and takes that chainsaw right through the middle of the belly.
Yeah.
And Leatherface lifts him up, and it's just like, that's iconic. That's great.
That's one of the best fucking chainsaw kills ever.
Dude, that happens right after, like, a couple of minutes right after the biker, like,
right
where he lives at, like, it's just nonstop.
He falls down on it, and it comes up on the biker. Like, they kind of, I think the next couple, like this one and the next one, you get a lot more chainsaw death than
even the older brother gets chainsawed, you know, and you see his hand, you see, like, his hands peeling apart, like he's already cut the skin off his arm.
Dude.
And the way he takes his face and wears it, that looks like iconic Leatherface.
It looks realistic
yes.
when it's happening, because they're slicing his face and it's still bleeding, which it fucking would. You know what I mean? It looks like that's what the way you always pictured it being in a movie. We usually see the after effect, or we see it done like they did in part 2 with the freaking thing, but you don't see blood and stuff going. He just saws it off and puts it on. Where this, you actually see what I think is the closest representation of how it would be in real life. It's gross, and he peels it back like somebody doing freaking a brain surgery, the way they peel a face back like they did in like Saw 3 or something. Yeah. Man.
Well, it's great too, because it's Hoyt's like sort of like apprenticing Tommy Leatherface and basically telling him it's just like cutting meat at the butcher shop. So it's almost like he's down there practicing, and that's why it's so bloody and like not perfect. Yes.
Well, and they're essentially saying like this is where like the boy's not been right. There's been like we know that he's killed the people there, but this was the beginning. Like I think like they're saying like we're never going to go hungry again. Like this is where it's like the woman's all like freaked out. The wife is all like kind of freaked out there. Thinking, oh my God, they're gonna come looking for him. They're gonna come looking for these kids and whatever. Like, no one's gonna be looking for
his mother. Yeah, right.
I like Luda May. Luda May. You know what her middle name is?
Kiss?
Chris.
Ludacris?
Oh my God.
Luda!
I said Ludakiss. I don't know why I said Ludakiss. I was going for the same joke, but it's Kiss instead of Chris.
Oh, Ludakiss.
Ludakiss. Jadakiss. I don't know what the fuck. I do love what she said, and I say this to myself. This movie has seeped its way into my daily life. I say this all the time, but only to me. A lot of these movies do this for no reason. I remember lines from movies, and they seep in, and I say them. But I say this only to myself, because I wouldn't say this to another person. But if I do something at work or I do something at home and I think it was a fucking stupid move, I say, boy, are you dumb. I always fucking say that, because she says that to him in the movie to her son. But I say that all the time. Boy, are you dumb. I love that. Their delivery, I don't know. Their fucking relationship is great. And
four chainsaw kills.
That's the way it should be. In
four awesome chainsaw kills. A mallet kill at the beginning with bashing the guy and breaking all his bones and thumping him on the head. And a beautiful, beautiful slit throat.
Oh, yes. Oh, at the dinner table, too.
Yes, Bailey's slit throat.
Man, that was great, too.
Yeah. fucking
Man.
this is the best kills in a Texas Chainsaw film.
And it looks, I'd say it looks great. Like, I mean, it
does.
I don't know. I've always been a big fan of this movie, and I definitely thought it's always been better. So it's great to hear, because I was a little worried. I knew Dave liked it, was definitely higher in it than the other one. He mentioned that, but I wasn't sure, Brandon, what your thought was on this. So it's great
I hadn't
to
seen.
hear.
You know what? I didn't rewatch the Texas Chainsaws as much as other franchises, so I couldn't remember.
Dude.
I honestly couldn't remember. So this might have only been the second time or third time I've seen it. So
Wow.
it was a great experience though, and I'll say that. And easily number 3, right behind 1 and 2, and not that far behind number 2. I think I gave number 2 a 9. It's not that far behind. It's really a very good horror film.
Yep, dude, I've loved it ever since. And I have my problems with the remake and everything, but ever since this one came out. But most people, if you talk to them, they don't. You know what this reminds me of? It's almost like the Rob Zombie Halloween and H2. The way I feel about H2 is kind of like this, and it came later on, and most people give Halloween the attention and don't like to. Same thing with this. Most people give the remake the attention, and they don't seem to like the prequel. I've never understood that. I'm like, because I think it's so much better. Yeah, I'm like, this is a damn good flick. And honestly, if I would have considered this a slasher, and I think obviously I didn't when we did it, because we didn't consider the first one a slasher before we did our show, this would have been in my top 50 slashers.
Oh, for sure.
In retrospect, it is a slasher, I guess, but our criteria is like it has to feel like a slasher, and you can't have multiple killers, and because that is the typical slasher formula.
As a slasher film, this might be in the top 20. If this is a slasher film, it's that good.
It's set up like a slasher.
Well,
I mean, they are. It's two kids traveling and getting stranded somewhere. Something happens and fucking they get killed off.
No different than the first one, but we kind of just made that we made that proto. Yeah,
right.
And then
that's why it didn't. But I would have.
Why are you talking about Lord of the Rings?
Not Frodo.
Oh,
Proto.
Oh, Proto Baggins.
Proto Baggins. How about when they put the saran wrap around him and then he fucking let him breathe and he fucking stabs him?
Yeah. And you see some blood. You see blood come out. Yeah, you see the blood come out. That's great.
Oh, dude. See,
dude,
that's the character development there with the brothers. You think that this guy just wants to go out and kill, and he talks about gooks and all this other shit, and you think that he's just brainwashed by the fucking, which he may be, brainwashed by the machine, joining the army or Marine, whatever, going out and killing. But the thing is, when it comes time, he steps up for his brother. He's like, okay, he's not the one that burned his draft card. I am. And he takes the abuse for it and never breaks.
Yeah, but isn't it also revealed that he wasn't redrafted, the brother, Eric? He was going back. The other one, he was going to go back just to be with his younger brother.
Correct.
To support him. Yeah.
For you, he said. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but even the scene, like the push-up scene, the 20 push-up scene, much better scene than the van scene in the last one. It just drags on way too long. This one is more.
Get the same thing out of it.
Yeah, but it's much more menacing because he's still pushing through, and it really shows like the heart of the character. Even though he's like, he's a main character, but he's not the main character. But you still get a feel for the type of person he is. Usually, you think of somebody who's going to be dodging the draft that's like a pussy, and like, oh, I hope he dies or whatever. But here we're like, I kind of like this guy. He's like, and he's very heroic. He shows his heroic basically throughout the whole film. Not only completing that, but then saving the brother's girlfriend.
It comes full circle with those two characters. It's good. It's just enough character development. We just get enough. They don't spend too much time, and we get what we need just in those things. You know, man.
And they're
Chrissy And Chrissy under the table when her boyfriend's being killed. It's like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
And then Hoyt's teeth. We see his teeth. They tie it up. We see why his teeth get knocked out. Yeah. It happens with that kid at the end. And then that's how you do a prequel. You do it. You tie the loose ends up. Why is this guy in a wheelchair and everything? They do the right things.
Even him up.
Yeah.
Even him up.
Yeah, because he goes, "Come on in here," and he's like, "Tommy."
But his reaction's like, "What?" Like, I love that too.
Why did you do that?
Even him up, and then he says, "Why did you do that?" Balance. It's true though. Wouldn't you rather not have to hop around on one leg? Wouldn't you rather that just have them both removed and be in a chair?
I'll ask my nephew that.
Because the pressure's on.
I'll ask my nephew. I don't think he's gonna give up the other leg.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Sorry, I was just thinking of it from that perspective. I'm like, would I rather be,
Oh,
if that was me and I got a leg sawed off, do I want to hop around the rest of my life? Again, you could get a, what do you call it this day and age? You can
a
get a
prosthetic leg. I will. I'll take the hopping.
That's true.
Yeah, I
You
would
could
hop.
But yeah, a
Actually,
prosthetic-
actually, knowing my OCD, I'd probably be like, I'd be in the hospital on the table. They cut. I'd be like, even me up.
yes, two
No,
thumbs. Now-
I'll put one fucking hockey stick. I'll just jam it right in there and have like a hockey stick leg.
Oh, of course, a hockey stick.
Speaking of which, just not to sidetrack, because I know we gotta peace out soon. But I was with my nephew. He's up here this week, and I was with him, and I told him about the movie. He's like, "Can I be in it?" I'm like, "Sure, we could have you in the movie." And then he's like, "Oh, well, I'm busy next summer. I got camp." I'm like, well, you got all these demands already? You just wheeled your way into the fucking movie, and now you're telling me he's like, I can't shoot this week? I'm like, 13 years old. He's like,
Yeah.
but I said this would be great because, I mean, you guys know, but for the listeners who don't know, he has one leg. He had his right leg amputated, and so I said we could just stick some fucking deli meat in there and fucking make a fucking great scene with you getting your leg taken off.
I didn't know if he was going to go there, but that's what I thought.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought he was going to say it.
You know my sense of humor, our friend.
I wasn't going to be the guy. Yeah, but I didn't know if he was thinking that.
Oh,
like, I could be in the movie because I could be an after effect of a fucking kill. Of a
Oh,
gore,
I
you know?
said we could have kid killing in it. I mean, he'll be 14 by next. He'll be almost 15 by next summer. Fucking chop his leg off and then end him.
Kill the kids, yeah. Let's kill all the kids then. Our daughters, the whole thing.
I thought about making him like a killer, like, you know, Rose McGowan in fucking Death Proof, but apparently he can't be on set for more than a couple of days because he's so busy.
Yeah, we're dealing with fucking Bruce Willis over here.
Yeah, no, I was like,
M&Ms.
it's funny you say that because immediately I said it, like I was joking around. I was like, what? Do you not want any green M&Ms in your M&M mix? Like, yeah, he had a whole rider instantly. I'm like, I'll get you a trailer. Dave won't watch it, but I'll get you a trailer.
Great. Now I got to put another death for a kid in it.
Put as many deaths with kids as
Yeah,
you
we got plenty of time. We'll
kill all our kids in these fucking movies. Why not?
The opening scene has it, which was supposed to be my son, but now we could just, if he can get himself into Canada, then for sure.
We can even make Frankie the killer. Have a fucking 15-year-old fucking female killer at the end, or two of them.
Why don't you guys write a story then? Because this is nothing about what it's been written already.
You know me. I need to pop it.
No, seriously, like honestly, we should be working together, and we will be. But the reason why I think it's like a good idea that you're like doing a preliminary thing is because you're the one who would shoot it. So you got to realistically have a vision for it, and then we can come in and, you know, like.
Well, yeah, and I was just realizing it was probably never going to get done because we're just shooting ideas back and forth to actually settle on one that could get done. And then again, what you pretty much nailed it on the head. I'm like, okay, what can we do where? Because I really am getting to the point where I'm like, okay, we need to make sure we've got total control over the environment, and I need to have this, that, and whatever.
Yeah, like when I did the screenwriting workshop that summer, like in 2005, and we all had to we spent the whole summer writing a screenplay. That was the thing, and then at the end we read it all. My screenplay was like 91 pages long, and we read it all, and it was great, but it had flashbacks and underwater, you know, dialogue scenes, and it was a psychological thriller that read like a comedy, but it had all this like if I wrote that now, I'd be like, can Christian shoot this? Can we get the gear to shoot underwater? Like, how do you do
it? Well, you can, but yeah, it's
that's what I'm saying. It's
definitely.
like I'll write a movie, then you'll be like, we can't use any of this.
Yeah.
Fucking Michael Bay over here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this is not writing the dream movie. This is writing what can we do that we want to do within our means. I might even have too many characters as is for a low budget movie.
Well, look, Dave wasn't there it was when we were kind of just spitballing the idea, and I think it's a solid idea. I think it's a really solid first film idea.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I liked it, and I think you could do a lot of things and focus on what's important in a slasher film. Good kills, good characters, and, you know, we talked about a potential twist, and it would be a good one. And if it can happen, it happens.
Awesome. Well,
now,
stay tuned.
Yeah, and again, I don't know. I don't want to take away from this one, but I feel like we've checked all the boxes, but I mean, I'm sure there's more notes, but I just, the enjoyment level of this Texas Chainsaw at the beginning is, like I said, for like sounding like a broken record again, it's just fun. It's fun within the grisliness of everything. It still retains that fun level. So where you're getting Saw level-esque, because I think at this point a few of the Saw movies had been released.
Yes.
So they knew the gore had to be upped a little bit because now Saw had been in the box office. However, as grisly as this gets, I still find it fun. Like in that Friday the 13th quick kill way, like her boyfriend with his arms kind of skinned off and whatever can be probably viewed as maybe on too much on the grisly side and maybe a little over the top for some people. But for whatever reason, I still find that this movie balances it and doesn't become a freak show in the sense of like just dwell on the gore for the gore's sake, and it's still enjoyable to watch.
It balances it out with some witty, funny dialogue, and it's just. But it is, but it should be gory. It's a Texas Chainsaw film.
Yeah.
Yep. The other thing I like about.
Love this one as much as the one of the she watched this one with me. She watched the remake and this one with me.
See, I tried to get her to watch it with me last night. She goes, I gotta do laundry. Fucking lame excuse. She just
You're
she just doesn't want to. She never wants to.
That she was responsible and like doing her own laundry.
Whatever. Please, laundry's gonna fucking interfere with the movie.
What do you like? I don't understand. You put the laundry in the washing machine. You got a half hour. Sit down, watch the movie. And then, and then you got to transfer it over to the dryer for an hour.
It's bullshit. She wanted to be on her iPad or doing something else. Fucking, I don't even want to get started.
Laundry's never an excuse unless you're folding laundry, which is a pain in the ass.
Which sucks, and it was getting late, so it was 9:00 at night too. So it was getting kind of late. Either way, I think that I love when the uncle sees them fucking hanging up in the thing, and they're trying to get him to help, and he looks and he goes like, he says, "I don't get involved with his affairs."
Yeah.
That's the way I live life, though. I love that. I don't get involved in
There's Monty Z over here.
Yeah, I'm staying the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
It's like that dream that my brother had when the two girls were tied up in the basement, and he looked. It's the same thing that he was saying in that dream. I don't get involved in his affairs. He didn't even care. But ultimately, this is it about this movie compared to the original. The remake. You still have some of those musical booms that I wasn't crazy about in the first one. Not as many, but they were still there. It still has the same basic look as the remake does. The one positive, at least it wasn't as wet. There was a little bit of wet, but it wasn't plagued through the whole movie. So
that's why I've been happy with all my girlfriends. I'm like, when we get done having sex, I'm like, at least you're not wet.
Yeah.
No, Dave, and that just goes to show that even this washed out look that we complain about so much kind of goes by the wayside when the movie becomes entertaining.
Yeah.
Because it does look the same to 03, but this is a much better and much more enjoyable film, so like I don't care as much. So when I nitpick,
I will also add, I have to do it at this point, Brandon, so I've cut you off for a second. Brandon's or Dave just mentioned the not wet, and I have it playing in the background, and it's the exact scene where he's splashing through the basement to check the boyfriend's face and whatever. That's exactly what popped up right now.
Yeah, that's why I said it wasn't. I didn't say it was
splashing through the water. Yeah.
Yep. It was the only time they had that one shot of him in the water, but at least it wasn't coming from fucking every orifice and every fucking crack in every house and everywhere you went. Where it was all at least, but they did again. They probably felt they had to for continuity's sake because it's the fucking the prequel. Well, let's show that the basement was still wet at this point, just not as wet as it got, or some. This is the beginning of the drips. I don't know.
The drips.
Yep. So, and it's an awesome ending.
Yeah, fuck, man. And like I said, like that would be the one downfall of doing a prequel is I mean, you know who survives and who logically has to go, but yet I don't know why. It just came as a surprise to me. Like
nice chase. I could see someone arguing about the car the car scene with him being in the back. I could see somebody thinking it's a little cheap, but I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot though. I like it a lot.
It's completely
so how high
plausible.
are you guys? I'm thinking fucking, not that I was going to be the high guy coming in, but the way you guys are talking about it.
You're a rye guy.
Oh, I'm 8.5.
That's where I am too.
Me too. Fuck.
Right
Wow.
across the board. Okay, yeah.
I've
It's
been
a
that way for a
thoroughly
while.
enjoyable, great sequel. I mean, again, I do like Leatherface. So the third one, I think it was an 8 or an 8 on that one. So this is why this series, when you see, like, there's 4 right there, and I was fine with the remake. I was 7.5 with the remake. So, like, I mean, they're
Look,
all,
with
like,
the
they're all good.
exception of
great.
Next Generation, they're all above average films, certainly. But
Fair.
I didn't realize how much I liked this one, and so now I would say like 4 of the 8 films for me are highly rated.
Well, I did the math. I did the math between the first 6 Texas Chainsaws that we've done and the first 6 Amityvilles.
Oh,
and fucking
gosh.
when I rated them. And believe it or not.
No, don't.
Well,
Don't
you've
say
been
it.
here. I'm just
Don't
saying
s-
this.
Don't say it again.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 6 movies, grand total 43.5. Amityville, after 6 movies, 42.5.
That's
Okay.
ridiculous.
Only 1 point difference between Amityville and Texas Chainsaw at this point.
Wow.
I still don't know how it's going to end up. Yeah. But I'm glad that I'm enjoying the Amityville. It's just
I don't think my Amityvilles would rate past 37 probably for 6. So the fact that you have that close.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that too, but it's okay. I mean, it's okay. I'm still shocked, but it's okay. I do want to leave us on a cliffhanger because I did put this in the chat last night in hopes that we were going to talk about it, and it never did come up. I didn't want to forget, so I put it in the chat for you guys, and we didn't talk about it. So this is Chris, aka Scott, sent me that message about when we were about 2 years ago when we were going through all that shit about possibly
Oh,
stopping the
yeah.
show, and there was an interaction between Dave, who is representing the Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast in this chat, and Chris, aka Scott. Well, another problem arose. This is us. No show tonight. Our days may be numbered at this point. Chris, aka Scott, says, "Oh man, what's going on?" And Exploding Heads responds, "We don't have time anymore. We'll slowly finish our obligations and peace out at 100."
yeah.
And
Well,
that's it. and we will get into that, but that's what I guess Chris is like saying, "Hey, I heard you guys talking about it on the show." I go, and this is what Dave sent me way back when.
Right. Well, we
And-
made no bones about that. That were initially we said that when we had our Patreon reveal on YouTube, when we put the video out, so we were considering stopping at 100. But the way we're going to continue on is here, Patreon exclusively. We decided this is the way we're going to go. We want to have fun. We want to fund our movie. We want to do everything. This is how we're going to So that's no surprise. We were talking about it, wrapping it up at 100. So
And it came. I guess there's no cliffhanger. We'll just be talking about it now quickly. It just came from the frustration. I think of we were going through it. Funny enough, not funny enough because there's nothing funny about it. But Brandon brought it up. He was going through everything that led to what happened with his nephew. I think at the time.
Yeah.
That
That
was
was
one of the
2019, yeah.
that was one of the things. And then when that all sort of started finishing, I think it just became scheduling issues. And so right when we thought we were going to get back into the swing of things, we were delayed another week or two, and then it just was like, okay, what's going on here? And
I
then-
still think there was 1 week where Chris was like, I don't think I can make it this week.
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's shut it down.
I was looking for it.
I still feel like you had that reaction at some point. If not, it's still very funny in my head.
I'm gonna do some more homework on it, but I looked in our chat. Let's see. I'm gonna do a search for the word "shut it down" and see if the word I used was something differently when I did the.
I believe the correct term was "shut it down, you neckbeard."
Too many people using the word "shut down" because of what do you call it? Fucking COVID. They shut down Kick-Ass. Who shuts their computer down? Says Christian. I'm trying to save horror.
Yeah, who does shut their computers down? I used to, but I didn't know that you're really not supposed to.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm not a
they
computer
just got the
person.
sleep mode now that I think just keeps it going.
We should do
Yeah.
whatever episodes we can now, and then I'll shut down until you return. Then see, shut down was used there, or Ophelia shut down. I don't know.
Look up the word retire and see when Jamie said she was retiring from podcasting.
No, the word I used. There was another word I used when I was looking it up, and I found it wasn't shut down. It was call it quits. Was the word I searched for. And I
That could
did
be
come up with some things, but again, it still wasn't. Hold on, call it quits. It still wasn't like Brandon's recall was. I think, son of a bitch.
I don't know why I had that recall of Dave being angry. Maybe he wasn't angry.
I don't know. Maybe I was.
We did something. No, there was a time. Brandon, I think I know it happened. I just don't remember. It was like, oh my God, we were going to be doing. Was it when we were doing The Thing? Or no, that was last year. I think we had to do for whatever reason. I thought we were doing The Thing, or maybe it was a Ram Man trilogy, and that had to get delayed by a bit. I don't know if it was the show Ram was on.
Ram Man's always causing problems, huh?
Here's something.
Fucking Ram Man.
Here's
At
something.
it again.
The
We
nicest
can
guy.
record tonight and refund the people what they have coming and call it quits.
Oh, that was there you go. There you go. Now we're getting
2009, and then Brandon said, "Why do we have to quit?"
Yeah.
And I said, "For me personally, it's because I don't have any faith that we can put things out on the regular anymore.
There it
And I don't
is.
wanna
That's it.
to listen."
This is it. We'll refund the money. I have no more faith.
I love how you have Dave Z's voice though at an 11.
I can just tell the way he's
I
reading,
think that was
he's
it.
reading it in a much more relaxed way than it definitely was.
But that's the exchange. That was
Oh,
it.
I know what it was. Yeah, see, there was a problem going on with Chris, a.k.a. Scott. And fucking Brandon said, once we meet our obligation for Patreon... Oh, forget, that's something else. I'm kind of pissed. Oh, forget that. Okay, so we were talking about Chris. There was a discrepancy at the time.
Fuck that guy.
And I said, I woke up to this message, and I'm depressed for the day now. And then Brandon said, don't. I'm looking forward to recording. We're going to have fun. And then I said, I've been depressed about the show for a month now. And then I said, fuck it, man. And then B says, we'll talk about it and get back on track. Over 1,000 listeners are listening, and if one patron complains, that means you still have 999 good listeners, he says.
Look at me, all positive and looking forward to recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take that, Eric Webster.
Yeah, wow. Call it quits. Isn't that something?
Golly, cool.
Yeah, it's wild.
I'd like to call out Chris, a.k.a. Scott. Don't aggravate Dave Z, please.
Oh, here it is. We're talking about, this is it. Christian, any chance that we could do Demon Wind and Nightmares and the questions from Monday night, then we could do the Apocalypse Trilogy for next weekend, Saturday night maybe. And I said maybe. Then I said, I don't know, man. Maybe we should do one more movie a week until we've done all the Patreon picks and then call it quits. Then you get to 100 and peace out. It's too much pressure to watch movies on time now. And then Christian says, holy shit, that's what I was just about to write. If that's what we're going to do, make episode 100 the last show. And then I said, yeah, man, I'm all bummed out about it. And Christian says, yup. And then Brandon says, sorry, gents, just a late night and shitty life getting me down. I'll see, there's the B we know and love.
Oh, there I am. There I am.
There's
Jesus. What a bunch of fucking bummers reading that.
Maybe you should have gone down that rabbit hole.
I know.
Good night, everybody.
Call it quits. But now, again, with the new format, maybe, like I said, a regular show, a movie where now we have like 4 or 5 ones that are already paid for, a couple from the Ram Man, and then a couple other ones. But one of those big shows are 2 top 20s, so it's not even doing a trilogy. Nice. But we got to do the Blind Dead series, and then we got another one to do, and a couple from Ram. So if we're doing that once a month for the next fucking 5 months, if we don't have people buying into that tier, those episodes that are quote-unquote big shows, we could fucking program them. We could say, let's each bring a movie to the table that we've always wanted to review. You pick one, and then it goes back to that. So they got a 3 on one show, a regular on the other, and a bullshit episode. So I think it's all good, man. I think it's all and everyone keeps saying, if you guys are happy, do what makes you happy, and we're listening. We're onto it. So thanks for listening.
What makes us happy? This will be our last show. Bye, everybody.
Call it a quits.
On that note, call it quits. Fuck the show. What'd you say that would be? Cancel it. What is it? I wish I could do it.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Fuck it. Shut it
Fuck
down.
it. We're shutting it down.
All the pieces.
Oh, all right.
Let's do send everyone back their money. I don't give a fuck. Shut it down.
Yep. Oh, fuck.
Well, that's it. I just need to start 5 minutes later, guys. Okay. We'll keep going.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have guests on the next couple shows, and well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But
as long as Eric Webster isn't one of them.
Well, no. Why did I stop it?
Stop it. Anything
but that. Oh God. Let's be out. We love you guys very much. Thanks for every little thing.
Manchichi.
Boom. Manchichi. I'm not gonna hit
Smash your head.
I don't want to do that.
Christian,
Collect.
Christian hasn't hit it once the whole show. Dave, you've hit
I
yours
did.
a couple times.
I hit it
You hit
twice.
yours? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought Dave hit his a couple times.
He did too. Someone did. Because
Yeah,
I heard it. Anyway,
Yeah.
good night, everybody.